Hello, we're live. We're here. It's Saturday. I don't know. I forgot the time. Chat's working. Everything's good. Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm here to talk to you about multiple things. I think the main topic I have is this wild Taco Bell disease outbreak thing that we're gonna just go over because that's obviously insane. And then I have like a couple of other smaller topics to talk about today too, which I'm very excited about. But yeah. So I'm so not excited for a Kim K update. Don't worry, it's literally 5 seconds long. It's not a full story. It's just something I wanted to point out because I thought that it was interesting. Very interesting. Someone said today's today. I agree for sure. I'm trying to get the perfect amount of hoodie or the perfect amount of beanie to make sure I'm still showing off the eyebrows. Oh my god. Someone said it's their first time catching a stream. Well, hi and welcome. Don't mind me just adjusting my hat. The beanie angle is like, it's a pivotal part of the image. Anyways, yeah, if this is your first time catching, now it looks 10 times worse. If this is your first time catching a stream, welcome. The first 30 minutes or so are exactly what you're getting now, which is literally just the app session about various events. And then the around the 30-minute mark, that's when we go into around the 30-minute mark, that's when we go into today's topic, which again will be this Taco Bell thing plus a couple of other assorted things. Someone said, oh shoot, I missed the last stream. I love the eyebrows. Why, thank you. I love the eyebrows as well. Definitely been having fun with them. Someone said, would you ever get an eyebrow piercing? I don't believe that I have the anatomy for an eyebrow piercing, unfortunately. So, no. Alas. Womp. But if I did, then yeah, I absolutely would. I just don't think my brow ridge or brow does the thing that it should if you want one of those. Someone said, fit goes hard like always. Thank you. I had to pick something hard since it was going to be my staple for sure. Someone said about the outbreak, it's not only Taco Bell. Everyone, I don't know why they're being singled out. Well, they had a large part, it's not their fault, but a lot of the cases were coming from Taco Bell, which is probably why. Plus, they already had a pretty bad reputation when it comes to their food causing similar problems, shall we say. So it was a match made in hell, literally. Someone said, will you bleach your mustache? There's not enough there to bleach. In fact, I don't even consider that a mustache. I just consider that me having not shaved within the last couple days. I always get rid of it in time because nothing there actually grows. Someone said, what are we covering mainly today? The first thing in the title is usually how I try to set that up. Someone said eyebrow piercings are so pretty, but they sadly have such a high chance of rejecting. Yeah, I mean, some people get to keep theirs for seemingly ever, but I just know for some reason if I was to get one, I wouldn't be one of those lucky few. So, alas. Someone said, what did I miss? What's to talk about? Oh, just stay tuned. And in approximately 21 minutes and 49 seconds, I will reveal all. I will tell you all. Someone said, will you ever grow a mustache? I cannot. That's not a thing that I can do. If I could, maybe, I guess. But no, probably not. Someone said, what happened with Kim K? Nothing. It's literally just a tiny thing that I thought was interesting. And, oh, but I'll tell you something that was cool, though. I watched the Odyssey. It was great. I watched the Odyssey, and surprise, surprise, I don't think it's being overrated. I mean, obviously, you always have your hyperbolic people who are like, acting like every movie that is marginally okay is now the greatest thing since sliced bread or like a reinvention of cinema. It's not that good, chat. It's really not. But also, it is really, really great. It's a fantastic movie, and I loved pretty much every single aspect of it. Like, I'm a fan of the Odyssey, the story itself. And so there was a lot of parts that I was really like interested in seeing how Christopher Nolan would pull it off, and he absolutely did. I also wound up, don't mind me, I'm just looking for my agenda that has the other things I want to talk about today. I also really appreciated pretty much, no, I think literally all of the casting choices. Yes, what's the word I'm looking for? The controversial ones, obviously everyone was mad for no reason because Lupita Nyong'o and Elliot Page are great actors, but also I'm missing stuff from my agenda. It's blank. I don't know where all my links are. But also, like, even the ones that I thought were going to be bad were literally still good. Hold on, sorry, give me a second, chat. I am going to copy this back off of my phone. Okay, select all, copy, paste. I'm trying to show you why I figured that this movie had to be overrated. Like, there's no way that it wasn't going to be. Okay, there we go. I guess I forgot to save it. All right, so take 2. Archive, that is. All right, so look. Online, this is just like a Vulture review roundup. A modern Odyssey alls most. So, like, almost every single critic review for this film was good. The result was something that's splendid and sprawling. What does this say right here? Blah, 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 blah. His gifts are excessively obvious, and even when his characters don't show you, his filmmaking does. He doesn't know how to make an ugly image, and this one's filled with rapturous beauty. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what this one's saying, but I'm sure they liked it. Technically, the movie's mightily impressive. The graceful, like, literally so much glazing, thrilling ambition, boldness, seriousness, in-camera spectacle. I couldn't have been less surprised. That takes great pains. Okay, whatever, I'm done. But, like, it was like 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. And I was like, the movie literally cannot be that good. I'm sorry. It just can't be that good. So yeah, I sat down yesterday and I watched the film in its entirety. And I think it was pretty much that good. I think it pretty much was. Like, I'm not going to sit around saying like it was some sort of transcendental, rapturous, whatever these reviews were saying, but I just don't even really have that many notes. I don't really have any complaints about it. Usually I'm so opinionated, and I don't know. I also went in ready to hate it too, because I'm admitting I went in ready to hate it. I'm very, very critical of big budget movies. I feel like there's just no excuse for them to be bad. There's no excuse. If you spent over $100 million to make a motion picture, it should be good. So I was like, I'm not gonna like accept a halfway okay movie. And it was still really good. I just, there was nothing there. I loved the music. I loved the visuals. The effects were really good. All of the performances were fantastic. Brother, I don't know what to tell you. It was just great. Someone says, my problem is when I hear too much about a movie, let alone positive stuff, that I immediately doubt and think it's mainstream forced masterpieces. That's what I thought too, because again, like, if you unanimously are getting like 9 and 10 out of 10s, my first thought was like, okay, well, obviously we know what that means. It's probably mid. But it really was not mid to me. It was great, and I'm glad actually that I spent my time and money on that kind of, I mean, movie theater tickets are still expensive, but this one does feel like a little bit of bang for your buck. Sometimes I'm glad they surpassed your perspective when you went in very dubious. Yeah. I mean, like, no spoilers, even though it's kind of hard to spoil a story that's multiple thousands of years old. But if you're actually like a fan of the Odyssey, you might be kind of surprised by some of Nolan's takes on these things. He doesn't change or add or subvert anything at all. It is a straightforward retelling of like plot by plot, or plot point by plot point, beat by beat, but he sure does have an eye for execution. So you get like the Cyclops, but then you see the Cyclops and it wasn't what I was expecting, and I was scared. Or like you get to Cersei's island and you're like, oh, I know how this goes. But then when Cersei does what Cersei does best, it's so scary because Nolan just depicted it in a way that I've never seen written or shown before. So like, yeah, everything from the Trojan horse to, you know, the suitors, all of those things just felt very definitive, I guess, in this depiction of them, which I thought was really cool. Someone says, I'm convinced they used Elliot as rage bait. Oh no, they used Elliot Page because he's a good actor. That's it. Christopher Nolan has a track record of working with Elliot Page. He was in Inception. I don't remember which other films. Yeah, the conservatives being mad about his inclusion in this film is just completely stupid, especially when Page's monologue in this movie is literally one of the best deliveries. It's one of the highlights of acting in this movie is the little bit that Elliot gets to do. And it's also the same thing with Lupita Nyong'o, where like she is so good. I can't imagine why you would not want this person in your movie when she's such a good actor. So yeah, everybody is stupid. Sorry to report. It turns out everyone who I said was being stupid about the casting was correct. But also, Travis Scott was good too. I'm not a Travis Scott supporter. Actually, I very much am just not a fan at all, which is why when his inclusion was initially announced, I was mad. Just because I don't want to see him in the movie, but Nolan put him in the right spot is all I can say. He was barely in the movie, and what little he was made sense. So I wasn't even like taken out of the moment by the inclusion of Travis Scott. That part actually surprised me because I was like, wait, this kind of makes sense, and I think his delivery is good for this. I don't know how to explain that one. I guess the best way I can put it is like he does a bunch of ad libs in his songs. He's basically just in the movie to do ad libs. So the Odyssey featuring Travis Scott ad libs in the intro, and I think that just made a lot of sense. It really, really did. Someone said the browser fire. Thank you. Someone said please be louder about the Sahara section. Are you referring to those people who were criticizing Nolan for filming on, was it occupied land when they themselves are not able to do so? I forget who exactly said that. Is it Sawari? Sorry, I don't want to get like names wrong. Sa-ra-wi. Yes. Okay, it is. Yeah, that sucks. I saw people trying to defend this, and I'm like, I don't really understand why you guys are trying to defend this. Christopher Nolan's Odyssey used occupied land as a film set. That feels like a betrayal. The decision to shoot in Moroccan-occupied Western Sahara, where the indigenous people can't tell their stories without fear of imprisonment, helps erase our own brutal journey. So, I believe a Sawari artist wrote this. I could be wrong with that. Mohammed Slayman Labat just basically said exactly what's there, which is like, wow, that's kind of wild how you can come in and like make these Western movies on this very land where we ourselves are imprisoned for standing up to or trying to depict the fact that this is colonization and occupied territory. And for some reason, I really saw people trying to boil this down to like, oh, like 10 people are mad about this, who cares? Or like, oh, this is fake or manufactured outrage. And I'm just like, guys, I will never, I understand. I understand on some level, but I will never understand how you think a movie being good or you liking a director's work is a reason to ignore stuff like this. The article could not be more clear. Our homeland suffered a brutal military invasion from the north and south in 1975 when Spanish colonial authorities handed over the territory to Morocco and Mauritania. Today, half of our people languish in refugee camps in the Algerian desert, while the other half lives under a suffocating military police state. separated by a militarized wall built by Morocco and fortified with millions of landmines. Such realities and stories will not make it to the big screen. I just feel like I don't understand why you would ignore this, I guess. Also, I didn't know this until after I saw the film and people were posting this. It says right here, for Nolan's doc issue, he appears to have neither sought our consent nor considered the ethics of, in effect, helping to prop up and legitimize Morocco's occupation, thus making the space even more unsafe for Sahrawis living under it. He's actively participating in the state-sponsored PR campaign designed to legitimize an illegal occupation. So people piss me off all the time. And they will continue to piss me off forever, I think, as long as we act like somehow a movie is a reason to ignore all of this. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up, because I did see that earlier and I looked into it. It was presented to me as like, oh, this isn't a big deal, look what people are saying. And I look into it and I'm like, what do you mean? They're speaking up about... I hate it. Someone said people who it doesn't actually affect just don't care. Clearly, I just feel like it's more so that people want to enjoy things without feeling like they're contributing in any way to what's happening in the world, right? Everybody wants to be the good guys, I guess, essentially, because we all know that the bad things that are happening in this world are literally terrible, unjustifiable, and there's pretty much nothing worse in a lot of people's minds than us being in any way complicit with this. So the cognitive dissonance just starts... The trumpets start getting louder and people start ignoring things, downplaying things, overlooking humanitarian crises. I just hate it, honestly. Someone said there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. Yeah, no, there's always going to be, in my mind, a legitimate concern brought up with almost anything that is created using resources in other places and whatever. I'm saying whatever as if it's like not that big of a deal. It is a big deal. I guess I too didn't immediately know what to do with this information, but downplaying it just didn't seem like the right answer to me. But that's how I felt. But that is one thing that's a very real world aspect. At least talking within the world of the movie, my review was great, and I wish things could just be great in a vacuum and not bad in any way ever. It would be fantastic. Some say, have we started filming for YouTube, or is this still a casual discussion segment? Just check the timestamp. Usually the first 30 minutes or so are you pretty much the same. Someone say you can still care about the issue while enjoying something two things can be true. You don't even have to support the movie financially to enjoy it. That's a third thing that's true. It really, really is. Someone say, excuse me, what lip balm do you use? Aquaphor. Just Aquaphor. I gotta drink some water. Actually, where is my water? Oh, I left it over here. I'm so lazy. I don't want to, like, get up. Okay, I'm back. I'm so back. Someone say you wouldn't download a car? No, you're right. I would download the entire dealership. What do you mean? I would download the entire automobile manufacturing facility is what I would download, and then I would print cars for fun. I really, really would. Someone said hashtag Pirates Strike Back. Yes, let's go piracy for real. Someone said I love Marvel, but I hate Disney and so many of the actors. Yeah, out of touch. Celebrities are never doing themselves any favors. I fear. I really do. Someone said, my big question for the Odyssey is if Nolan finally figured out how to write female characters. It's been dismal ever since The Dark Knight. Whereas I believe many people, could give a much better answer than what I'm about to give. All of the women in this movie are very tangential to the main characters. The men, Telemachus, Odysseus, etc. Part of that, obviously, is due to the source material, and I felt like I could feel Nolan trying to fight back and add some shades of depth to these characters, but, like, no. like, here's a good example. Cersei, she's one of the women in the story, right? And the way she's presented in this movie is pretty cool. She has I don't want to talk too much about the movie, but like Cersei represents some pretty serious issues. And then so you get like a level of discussion. And I saw people online literally like, I swear to God, if you want an example of how he definitely could have gone harder, this is not spoilers. Cersei turns a bunch of dudes into pigs in every version of this movie. or movie. In every version of the story, that's a thing that happens, and this is thousands of years old, right? And so I literally saw people discussing on Reddit. They were like, oh, why did Cersei turn those dudes into pigs if she didn't even know if they were gonna like hurt her or not? And I'm just like, if we're framing Cersei as the bad guy from your POV of this movie, maybe we could have gone a little harder at explaining her perspective. Granted, the movie does not in any way villainize her for this decision, but I was just like, oh my God, we are so no, sadly I don't think dude bros are going to be watching the Odyssey and coming away with like a deeper understanding of the characters there, but the women especially. But we've got like freaking Cersei by Madeline Miller. Go read that. I want Nolan to do better as always, but also some people are trying really hard and they're doing a great job. In my mind, I can't even spell Cersei. I spelled it like Lannister from Game of Thrones. In my mind, even though I really did enjoy the Cersei scene in the movie, I just overwrote it with the book Cersei by Madeline Miller, which I feel like does such a cooler job of like really getting into the nitty gritty of that character. But yeah, when I saw people like, why did she do that? The guys didn't even do anything. I was like, okay, I'm gonna die. Bye, everybody. Anyways, but yeah, that's enough. I don't want to keep ranting and raging about the Odyssey. As you see, it's a very imperfect thing, but it was a pretty cool experience simultaneously. Yay. Oh man, we've got 4 minutes and 37 seconds. Let's go, baby. I have a goal, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to achieve it. I set out a goal for myself this month, and at first I was reaching it really, really well, but slowly I started diverging away from it, and now I'm sad. Hold on, let me see if I can like show you my goal. I'm trying to pull up my Smash run. Yeah, okay, no, hold on, that's not the right area. Never mind, chat. I may not even be able to figure out how to do this. I swear to God. On Smash Run, you can use it to like show you what your goal is. Okay, here, I'll just do it like this. So, I've been running for my life, as always, and I initially set a goal for the month of averaging 6 miles a day. Oh, I can show progress. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, this is sad and this is bad. Okay, so yeah, I set a goal for running 6 miles a day this year, which I was honestly doing fine with. The yellow line is me, and the white line is if I was actually running the correct amount of distance. So for the first week or so, I was booking it. I needed to run 49 miles, and I ran 49 miles in that 8 days. And then I got a little bit lazy right here. And I dropped behind 3 miles. Hold on, you can't see the numbers. And then I dropped behind 6 miles. I was still running. I was just getting really bored. So I had shortened my runs to 5Ks instead of 10Ks, which means like 3 miles instead of 6 miles. But then I made it back up a little bit, and I was only down 4. But then I dropped to 7. But then I tried to make it back up, but I was just keeping it consistent, and I dropped to 10. I've recently gotten it back up to 9. And yeah, I'm currently 9 miles behind my goal. I need like an extra 9 miles. It says 15 right now, but that's just because I haven't gone for a run today. And so my goal is at least 9 of the days after today, or including today, I just have to go an extra mile. That's it. It's July 18th. And I have what, like 13 days left in the year. No, God, 13 days left in the month. At least 9 of those days, if I can just push myself to run 6 miles and then 1 extra mile, slowly I should recover all the way back. What I could also do is I could just run an extra 9 miles in one day. I could run for 14 miles, but I don't feel like doing that. I've been so bored. So yeah, I'm running as hell, but he's also struggling to set the very ambitious goal he set for himself. Struggling to reach it. I've run 96 miles, broski. 96 miles this month. I am booking it, but for some reason I have not been able to drag myself past an 8-mile run, and I don't know why. It's wild as hell. Someone said, you got this. Thank you. I believe that we do. Someone said, do you start the topic? No, but we will in approximately 19 seconds. Probably longer knowing me. But, you know, before I start the topic, I might just talk about the Kim K thing first, though, Loki. I might just do that because I thought it was interesting. Someone said, someone said so many miles. I be booking it, bro, because I have to. Otherwise, I'm going to go crazy. I really, really am. Okay, so someone said, do you podcast or watch movies while running? No, I usually do nothing, at all. And also, I have been running on a treadmill almost exclusively. I usually listen to music, but this month, TMI, because I've gotten this ear piercing right here called a conch piercing. I haven't felt comfortable wearing my AirPods because I just don't want them right up against a fresh piercing that just feels like I'm asking for an infection. So I haven't been able to listen to music all month. So I've been listening to nothing, and I cannot explain to you the level of boredom of running on a treadmill for 1 hour in silence. Or all I hear is just tap, tap, tap in the machine and like my breathing for 1 hour. And it's terrible, but that's okay. I'm very excited for this conspiracy thing to finally heal so I can get back to actually listening to my tunes, my jams, bro. Some said my ears are too small for a piercing. I highly doubt that. I mean, maybe they might be too small for the piercing that you want, but I'm sure a talented piercer could whip something up. You may not be able to get certain kinds, but it is what it is. Someone said, play it out loud, or do you run play it out loud, or do you run at a gym? Yeah, I don't own a treadmill, so unfortunately, it's in public. But sometimes, if I'm there by myself, I will try to play it out loud, even though it makes me feel like a douchebag. But no one's there, so I'm not bothering anybody. But it is what it is, for real, for real. Someone said treadmill is the worst. I hate treadmill running, but would you like to know what the weather is right now? Let's see. Let me zoom in. That way I don't like actually dox myself, because that's not cute. Yeah. 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 94 degrees Fahrenheit feels like 105 degrees, which if you need that converted, I will help you out. That would be 40 degrees Celsius right now. Also, fun fact, our humidity, I think, is currently at above 50%. And it was like 70 last time I looked. So no, I will not be running outside, because I actually genuinely think I'm probably going to pass out, and I don't want that for me. That's not my journey right now. So I cannot wait for it to get cooler and less miserable here in North Carolina. God almighty. Anyways, okay, transitioning out of that topic into this Kim K thing. This is not a story, chat. This is not news, and this doesn't matter. I just thought it was kind of a blip. It's like a 2-minute story. Kim Kardashian under fire for bikini lake pic following grandmother's death, which does quite literally sound like the most Kardashian coded headline I've ever heard in my entire life. But low key, even though I'm not a Kardashian defender, actually, I think these people have done literally irreparable harm to so many communities, not least of which their anti-blackness, while simultaneously constantly hooking up with black people, needs to be studied. But anyways, I think that this is a little bit unfair. I feel like this is a little bit unfair. So what happened was, unfortunately, yes, Kim Kardashian's grandmother did pass away very recently. Kris Jenner, her mother, she lost her. She was, the mother was like in her 90s. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting her name. I don't really follow the family like that. And like, Kris had put out this really sweet post about it online. And I don't know, it was just sad, obviously. But then, oh, is the post not up anymore? Oh no, the post is still totally up, because of course it would be. People got a little, they were kind of like, hey, what's this, bestie? When through it all, very shortly after, Kim Kardashian posts vacation photos titled, or with the caption of lake life, and it's just a carousel. I'm sorry. I'm literally not laughing because this is funny. It's not funny when somebody loses their grandmother. The absurdity of this is getting to me. It's just a carousel of everybody having fun on vacation type beat. Oh, always posting y'all kids online. Y'all gotta stop doing that. And so yeah, you can imagine that the comments were just kind of like, what the helly are we doing? What someone said, was it a black bikini? Stop! You're going to get me canceled. I am literally trying to be respectful. I'm not. I shouldn't have told this story. Because I don't think I'm the right person for it. I'm not doing a good job. God, if you're watching this, close your eyes. I don't find it funny that anybody lost their grandparent. I do find it funny. Influencer posts bikini vacation photo and people are asking like, oh, is this morning? That's a little bit funny in and of itself. But anyways, I feel, and this might be my hottest take yet, my hottest take imaginable. I don't think it's that big of a deal if she posted this. Low key. I think even if like she posted this and fully aware of what was happening or whatever, I don't know how to describe the fact that like it's just an Instagram post. And also Kim said right here, this post was scheduled a few days ago before we lost MJ, so its timing came right alongside her passing. I've been by my mom and grandma's side this past week, and my heart is completely without my family right now. We love and miss her so deeply, and in the days ahead, we'll be focusing on celebrating her beautiful life. I literally would not give the Kardashians a pass on anything. Nothing. Maybe except literally this. It's like, first of all, I don't super feel like it's our business how these people are grieving over this. I also don't feel like it's that disrespectful to post your normal Instagram fare. I feel like this is a very typical Kim Kardashian Instagram post, and even though so much of what these people do is manufactured, and yes, here I am talking about the Kardashians, so one could even argue this is the case, I kind of believe her. I kind of do. I would never believe that somebody with an Instagram account that has this many followers is actually posting them post by post. These things are usually scheduled out weeks in advance, especially somebody like her who has like brand deals, and you have to schedule your post. But yeah, I feel kind of bad for her because I feel like an IG post going live and then a bunch of people in the comments being like, you hate your grandma, is crazy as hell. But yeah, I don't know, chat. That's it. There's no other pieces or players in this story. It's not enough for a video. That's why I'm just mentioning it offhandedly right here. People saying the posts are most likely scheduled. Someone said, Kim, there's people that are dying. Why can't she post? Scheduled or unscheduled? You people are so strange. This is the part that I wanted to focus on, regardless of whether she did this or not. I low-key, I think I had the same question. I would say this for anybody. If anybody I knew in the world posted a vacation photo shortly after losing, you know, a relative, is that bad? So yeah, that's it. I'm just sharing this because I had no idea if I needed to like recalibrate my social awareness calendar. I probably wouldn't be posting anything, but that's because I wouldn't remember to do so, and it doesn't really sound like that's what happened here either. It's wild, man. Someone said for all the things to give them crap for. Yeah, again, like probably most things when people are like defending Kim K online, I'm gonna be like, no, I think she was wrong for that. But this one, I'm just like, dog, it was a picture. It's a photo. Someone said definitely not an issue. Yeah, if she was like some kind of disrespectful caption or whatever. Here, let me show you this meme. This is how people were really acting. This is on God how people were acting. They, from the way some of those comments were, you would have thought she was posted up like this on Instagram in her best fit in front of the coffin, talking about God's timing is always right. This is one of my favorite pictures on the internet. Actually, this can be our meme of the day. This picture has circulated for probably at least 10 years, and I've been a fan of it since I think 2016 or before. I might have even been in college. I love this picture. There's also another one that I like a lot too, that sometimes I quote unironically. Images. Oh crap, wait, I can't find the original. Oh, here it is. Do y'all remember Rip Bozo? I love saying Rip Bozo. Someone posted on IG long ago, these are ancient text, this photo of them dripped out, and it says, I stopped by one of my biggest haters' funeral today just to make sure he was dead. Hashtag Rip Bozo. Hashtag die haters die. Skull emoji. That's so funny. That's so funny. I will say, like, separately from a conversation about actual people dying, like, you should obviously be respectful in most cases. Like, I don't feel the need to be respectful about Kim K losing her grandmother. But for me, y'all don't need to be respectful at all when I die. I'm telling you this right now. Y'all better make so many jokes. Y'all had better turn it into a celebration. I'm sorry, I'm not over here pushing through all of the nonsense in my life every single day just for you all to suddenly be super nice and like kumbaya. If I was to ever shuffle off of this mortal coil, y'all need to have dancers at my funeral. Y'all better be like attach a pole to the actual casket. Let whoever wants to have fun. I don't care. I'm not even going to be in that casket. It's symbolic, honestly. I want everybody to wear not black, their loudest outfit. Whatever the actual brightest thing is that you have in your closet, put that joint on and show up and show out for real, because me dying that just sounds hilarious, actually. I can't imagine anything funnier than that happening with me. So yeah, maybe I do need to recalibrate my social awareness calendar or meter, because I'm stupid. I'm bad. Some will go with your emo shirts. Everybody put on your best emo outfit. I want to see like the swoopy bangs down to here. I want to see black nails at my funeral. I mean, I'm not going to see any of it because I'm going to be dead, but someone said the zip line. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all better be like, it should be a bonanza. That's how I feel. Anyways, moving off of this topic, thanks for listening to me rant about Kim Kardashian catches fire for posting bikini photo after grandmother's passing, because I felt like I was going crazy. I only have one other topic for you before we get into the Taco Bell stuff. And also, I don't know why I'm late with it today, but also, am I really late if it's my stream? No. I saw this, and I don't know to what extent this is true. This could just be being overblown, but I was like, chat, what's going on here? Human skin is the newest ingredient in the K-beauty boom. Clinics across South Korea are injecting treatments made from donated cadaver skin into patients seeking a more youthful look. I don't know, I just got this recommended, and I was like, y'all are doing haunted skincare right now. I assumed that this had to be some sort of clickbait, obviously, but no. Sarah Yoon recalls the moment her Seoul dermatologist described the clinic's newest offering. It's made from dead people, the dermatologist said. Sarah, the 40-year-old influencer and mother of two, who moved to Seoul in 2023, paused, but only for a moment. And yes, it says in the gleaming clinics of the city's affluent Gangnam district, the treatment derived from donated human tissue has become a must-have beauty fix. Patients line up, vials sell out. Shares of LNC Bioco, the small Korean biotech. Wow, that was a. I tried to air quote just now, and I think I just threw a middle finger accidentally. I have no hand-eye coordination. The small Korean biotech company leading the boom with its Read 2.0 skin booster have more than doubled over the past year. So yeah, someone said it gets to a point. Exactly. They, if I understand this correctly, are mining the skin from donated human tissue and then stripping it and trying to extract things that then simulate having healthier or more youthful skin for living people. I guess. Critics question the ethics of using donated human tissue in cosmetic procedures and whether growing demand could divert supplies from traditional medical uses, such as breast reconstruction and burn treatment. Oh my God. That is wild, bro. But yeah, they're saying there's also other options like pig collagen, a salmon DNA injectable, which I had no idea about. So I guess look out for that. Dead people skincare coming to you. Also, why did I do that as a topic immediately after talking about people dying in real life? I think I should have rearranged this. I think it should have been this topic first, and then the Odyssey, and then Kim Kardashian's grandmother passing away, because I just feel as though if you were to take the last 10 minutes in their entirety, I don't think that was the best way. Guys, it's no, okay, we're back. We're so back. I've reset. It's all good. I don't know what the hell the last 47 minutes of the stream have been, but they happened, and I stand by that. And that's on period. Okay, so anyways, but some things you shouldn't stand by, though. Some things you should not stand by at all. All right. If you were here for Taco Bell, your time has come. Let me drink some water. I'm going to hit record in like 3, 2, 1, and then everybody say hi so we can start going. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we're recording. Everybody say hi. The United States government is urging us all to stop eating Taco Bell or specific Taco Bell products temporarily. There's an outbreak of a virus, or there's an outbreak of a parasite. Nobody's dying, thankfully, but actually people are getting kind of sick. Sadly, some of them have been hospitalized, and it's a whole mess involving contaminated food products, Elon Musk, and the, quote, Department of Government Efficiency, and really just failure at every step of the way. So I thought we could take a look today at the whole Taco Bell lettuce outbreak situation. All right, that's good. That's enough of an intro today. So I would like to introduce the players for this whole thing. Taco Bell is not solely responsible for this. I wouldn't necessarily say they're the bad guys in the scenario. If you're not familiar with the restaurant chain, or if you're not familiar with the fast food chain, I would say Taco Bell is known for essentially its people enjoying it so much that they eat it no matter what the consequences are. If I can put that in a non-gross way. I mean, you could imagine like bold new burritos just stuffed to the core with, man, they actually do look kind of good. I'm not gonna lie to you. People make jokes all the time about like, oh, I just had Taco Bell and then I wound up having a horrible trip to the bathroom. Let's see. I'm gonna pull like a meme for this. I'm literally on like a page on the meme subreddit for 4 years ago. Someone said, we don't have it in my country, but how could Taco Bell be so big and popular if it causes diarrhea? It's this Chris Pratt meme. I don't know whether Taco Bell really causes explosive diarrhea or if it actually offers decent fast food. And at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. I would say truthfully, their food is not that bad. It's just, it can be kind of heavy, kind of greasy, the same as any other form of greasy food. But yeah, they have a reputation which precedes them, as you can see. Someone said Taco Bell doesn't make you sick if you're pure of heart. I guess I'm impure of heart. I will say, like, this is absolutely not relevant to the video in any way, but I was more of a Taco Cabana fan. Have y'all ever had Taco Cabana? Because I'm telling you, that's where it's at. Actually, though, I don't... Where all is Taco Cabana? Okay, they do. They have them in other places. Yeah. Okay, this was my joint right here. Taco Cabana is an American fast casual restaurant that serves Tex-Mex cuisine. It's headquartered in San Antonio, Texas. That's where I'm from. San Antonio, Texas. Or Taco Cabana is literally so good. It's so good. I'm not a Taco Bell hater. Taco Cabana wins every single day, and it is what it is. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Someone said all Mexican food is peak, even American Mexican. True, but there is a level actually beyond Taco Bell and even Taco Cabana, and that's called having friends whose moms know how to make actual authentic Mexican food. Because growing up in San Antonio, I stayed going to people's houses and getting served like actually just y'all really was not living like me, and it shows. All right, but yeah, those are, I guess, my tier list of Mexican food offerings. So if Taco Bell is a restaurant chain that is jokingly known for diarrhea, you may start to imagine what happens when we introduce Cyclospora, which is a parasite that is known for causing diarrhea. Yeah, this is not a video you should watch if you're eating, especially not Taco Bell. So it's just kind of gross, as most parasites are. It says it was virtually unknown in quote-unquote developed countries until awareness increased due to several outbreaks linked with fecally contaminated imported produce. So that's a little iffy. That's a little grody, for lack of a better word. But yes, that's Cyclospora. And basically what you can contract if exposed to this parasite is cyclosporiasis, an intestinal illness caused by this parasite. Okay, so this is the part where like I'm not going to go into too much detail. Actually, you see right here it says current outbreak, where we're going to get into that in a second. But basically just know it's not fun for you. You're not going to die, but you may rapidly lose weight or find yourself getting sick and then getting a little better and then sick again. You may actually have to be hospitalized. It really depends on the severity of the case. But it says right here, the timing between becoming infected and becoming sick is usually about 1 week, but can range from 2 days to 2 weeks or more. It spreads when people eat food or drink water that was contaminated with feces, poop, as the CDC has in a helpful little parenthetical. Thanks for that, guys. So that's that. And then I guess Speaking of nothing previously mentioned, we've got Elon Musk. Yeah, he is, I would say, the third player in this, because part of the reason that this outbreak was not contained as quickly as it could have been is honestly his fault. We're going to get into that in a bit. Here he is wearing his famed "Trump was right about everything" hat. Yes, that's real. No, that's not Photoshop. And if you're wondering like what he could possibly have to do with this, because I mean, the man possibly has to do with seemingly everything at this point. Elon Musk's Memphis AI empire, the epicenter of the data center backlash, SpaceX valuation, the Odyssey, Einstein praise, blah, 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 blah. Tech firm sues user over alleged explicit content. Literally at any given time, he has like 5 different controversies about how he's making the world a worse place. But this one specifically involves the Department of Government Efficiency, which was this stupid, short-lived federal initiative that Trump and Musk collaborated on. They are like on and off. They're on again, off and again. And when they were at the height of their bestiedom or whatever, the Supreme Court basically exempted this organization from actually being accountable in any way, even though Musk was saying like, oh yeah, no guys, we're being accountable. But what they were going through was just stripping away funding from a bunch of important places, a bunch of important organizations within the government that actually are helping people, instead of taking away funding from, I don't know, the military, though I do think they were even cutting those contracts. Doge's actions have been met with opposition and lawsuits, with some critics warning of a constitutional crisis. I think we're past the warning stage with a constitutional crisis, and others likening Doge's actions to a coup. Several of its actions, were found to be illegal and potentially unconstitutional, and were rebuked by federal judges. The White House has insisted on the lawfulness of Doge's activities. The role Musk had with Doge is unclear. The White House asserted he was senior advisor, denied he was making decisions, but Trump said that Musk was heading it, and a federal judge found him to be the de facto leader. So, in other words, even though he left in 2025, anything that they did, I do consider to be Musk's fault. So, those are just kind of... That's a little glossary. What is Taco Bell? What is cyclospora and cyclosporiasis? And who is Elon Musk? And what does Doge have to do with any of this? Great. Moving into the beginning of this outbreak. This took place in a interesting part of the United States called Ohio. I don't know if you guys were there for the Ohio meme. I think many of you probably were, but like, it is kind of not funny is not the right word when people are getting sick, but it's kind of notable that Ohio has gone viral multiple times for just being an interesting place where interesting things happen. And between there and also Michigan, which is green up here, this is sort of the heart of this problem. Someone said not Ohio. Of course, the Taco Bell outbreak situation is originating from Ohio. Literally, where else would it happen? But I don't want to sound like I'm crapping on Ohio specifically, because I'm pretty sure all of these states could uniquely be considered one of the worst places. I used to live here, and Texas is one of the worst states imaginable. And now I live here, and this is also a terrible state. And half of my family is from here, and this is also a terrible state. So maybe the problem is just America. Some say Ohio is the Florida of the North. For real. All right, so pulling this next. So earlier this month, someone said Ohio's actually great. Y'all are just haters. Every state is great. I want to say that too. Like, even though I just said I hate Texas and Louisiana and North Carolina, all 3 of those places are incredibly important to me. I don't even want to change myself as a person who was molded very heavily by these environments. It's just also, you know, we live in a society, so Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Someone said if I didn't know someone who went to Oberlin, I would not believe Ohio is real. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, don't take this as me like trying to single them out as the worst state. There is no worse state in the United States, besides Texas. So earlier in the year, no one really knew where these cyclosporiasis cases were coming from. Trying to zoom back out because I'm zoomed too far in. This is from the University of Minnesota saying U.S. cases mount as the CDC lags on tracking. I wonder why the CDC could possibly be taking a while to get to the bottom of this, and if it could have anything to do with government cuts. Michigan, at that point, had 1,200 cases of cyclosporiasis, according to state officials, more than doubling the count reported over the July 4th weekend. Typically, Michigan reports 50 cases per year. So you could imagine, obviously, jumping up from 50 to 1,000 indicates something was wrong. It says in Ohio, counties that border southeast Michigan, officials are tracking more than 500 cases. In an update yesterday, the Ohio Department of Health confirmed 177 cases, etc. Most of them have occurred since June 20th. Officials tell restaurants to wash produce carefully. So even though nobody was able to ID exactly where this was happening, you could guess, obviously, it was coming from some sort of issue with fresh greens. All right, going back to my outline, which I lost. Someone said Alberta is the Texas of Canada. Oh my God. Moving to this right here. And it is indeed an outbreak because right here, Michigan put out this infectious disease outbreaks notice. The government actually put this out saying there's 5,000 cases at this point, with 100 indicating that they've been hospitalized. And that is just, that's rough. So obviously, the government had to get involved because what even is happening? This isn't good. Also, can I just take a break and say, before I get into the rest of this, it is kind of nice to talk about something like this where no one actually died. I don't love that anybody was hospitalized or felt really sick or any of that, but I'm all burned out on deadly epidemics. I think I'm good on those. I may have lived through enough of that energy for a lifetime. I know they're still going to continue happening, but part of my decision to talk about this today was I wanted a story that was not just full of like terror and sadness and loss. So people are saying no one died yet. Please don't say that. It's just a stomach bug, guys. Anyways, lettuce supplier identified as potential source of cyclosporiasis outbreak. So this was on the 16th, very recently actually. And the CDC and the FDA didn't initially confirm it outright. Someone from there told the Washington Post, the signal we've gotten is that there's a high percentage of people who got sick at Taco Bell. And when investigators asked what their menu items were in common, lettuce came up frequently. When the FDA asked the company where they sourced the lettuce from, it was Taylor Farms, not just for the Taco Bell stores in Michigan, but also for restaurants in the 3 other states, the person said. Because yeah, at this point, it was Michigan, Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky at that time. Zooming out. Someone said let's hope it stays that way. Yeah, no dying. No more dying from breakouts, please. But yes, then the next day, it was confirmed. In fact, cyclospora outbreak linked to shredded iceberg lettuce served at Taco Bell. This is actually straight from the CDC as of today. And it says right here, 0 deaths, 5 states. God, now it's up to 5 states. CDC, FDA, and public health officials in several states are investigating it. Do not eat food items with shredded iceberg lettuce from Taylor Farms de Mexico, served at Taco Bell locations in Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and West Virginia. They're also investigating other outbreaks and illnesses that are unrelated to this one. So here's the thing. Whereas many of these cases did come from Taco Bell, those are the ones that they were able to identify as a common link. People do also clearly appear to be getting cyclosporiasis from other sources. It's just we can't say what those other sources are if we don't know, and we do know Taco Bell, so that's why they're catching the brunt of this. There's really no one else to point the finger at. As someone said, we know they're targeting stoners. Yeah, they're trying to. I don't know what they're trying to do. It's all a conspiracy. But Taco Bell is notorious for being Munchie's food, and to be honest, it serves that purpose quite well. And this is from the FDA, based on. Here, let me zoom in right here. This is from the FDA signaling it out as being iceberg lettuce, and this sort of PSA asking people, hey, please stop buying this food product. The FDA and CDC, in collaboration with state and local partners, are investigating this multi-state outbreak, etc. Someone said it's definitely because of working conditions. We're going to get to the working conditions in a bit, because I would agree with you. Okay, so pulling this right here. So I guess this is the part where I'm just going to bring Elon up and then move on, because I hate even talking about this man. But part of the reason that this one article from the University of Michigan saying like the CDC is lagging, moving back over here. Well, as Wired reports, the CDC has a cyclospora lab, but Doge downsized it last year. Yay. Based on simple math, these outbreak responses, which require rapid, timely responses, are going to be greatly diminished, the former CDC lab director tells Wired. So it's great. That's fantastic, actually, that for literal weeks we've known this is a problem, and probably could have identified this faster if people were not, at the whims of a few billionaires who treat this world as if it's like literally Minecraft. Trying to pull this over here. And actually, dude, the loss of the CDC as like, I guess a great organization is sad, because they were killing it around the time of COVID and all of that. They were on it, but thanks to like certain people like RFK Jr., etc., and everybody associated with, they're really going through it, man. As cases of cyclospora rise across the U.S., former employees say the country's response is being severely hampered by personnel cuts at the agency. Amid mass government layoffs last year implemented by Trump and his so-called Doge, the CDC lab that responds to outbreaks of the parasite was downsized from 11 people to just 3. Okay. According to Joel Barrett, a molecular parasitologist and assistant professor at Emory University School of Medicine who previously led that team. Now, basically, that downsizing or whatever isn't like the direct reason, or what I'm getting at is like there was still enough people there to work on this, but I just can't help but imagine if they weren't dealing with these staffing issues, it probably would have been a little bit more efficient. Based on simple math, these outbreak responses, which require, I just read that already. Cyclospora is just one piece. It's making the news right now, but there are other more dangerous pathogens than Cyclospora. And I'm over here trying to have like a positive outlook on this, and I don't know why, because I'm over here saying like, it's good that no one's dying, and it is, obviously, but he's bringing up a good point, which is like, what about when there's an outbreak of something that is killing people, and also these budget cuts and layoffs and all of these things are still affecting people's ability to contain this? Barrett says he left the CDC voluntarily in September after working at the agency for 8 years because he felt he could no longer, quote, do right by public health amid sweeping policy overhauls and staff purges under Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. It became a hostile work environment. He says, I had to sit down with many people in my office and tell them, look, I'm really sorry we can't renew you because of the hiring freezes, etc. So that's all just a mess, and obviously is not helping in any way. Zooming out, someone said, I have billionaire fatigue. Same, and it's like, it's not something where you can just close the tab. We're literally living in the world that these people have created, and it makes me want to do a lot of things that you shouldn't say on YouTube. Anyways, moving from this. Also, Trump is responsible in other ways too, because as this Washington Post article points out, sort of way here at the bottom here, the current outbreak is taking place months after the Trump administration postponed implementation of a federal food traceability rule designed to help investigators follow high-risk foods through the supply chain during outbreaks. And it's like, well, why would you postpone that? The rule would require growers, processors, distributors, and retailers to maintain standardized records documenting where the products came from and where they were shipped. The compliance deadline, originally set for January of this year, was extended by 30 months to July 2028 after, quote, some food industry groups said they needed more time to prepare, whatever that means. Had this been in place when FDA identified Taco Bell and potentially lettuce, getting that trace back to the farm would have been a relatively quicker exercise, which means you get back to the source more quickly. You prevent consumers from getting sick. So, yeah, there's just no world in which you can discuss this without also talking about the massive government oversight, which is probably why thousands of people have this at this point. But alas, I said the other day too, like, I can't believe we're the same species that eradicated smallpox. I will never understand it. For one brief and beautiful moment, humanity was like, science is actually a good thing, and people's health does matter. Let's present a united front to stop people from getting the deadly and destructive smallpox. And now, no one will ever get that again. But at this point, we can't even handle so much as a simple stomach bug. So, moving from here. Obviously, throughout all of this, Taco Bell had to say something. Duh. Taco Bell statement, July 17th. So what was this, literally yesterday, I think? Yeah, that's crazy. As of July 17th, Taco Bell has completed removal of affected Taylor Farms lettuce from our restaurants. Based on ongoing conversations with public health officials and out of an abundance of caution, Taco Bell worked swiftly to voluntarily remove the product from restaurants, and the affected ingredient has been removed from our supply chain nationwide. We took this action to ensure our guests can enjoy their Taco Bell favorites safely. We believe public health is a shared responsibility among restaurateurs, suppliers, and authorities, and we're proud to have consistently acted quickly and proactively to protect our guests. Taco Bell has taken precautionary action, and we encourage all relevant restaurants, retailers, and food service operators to do the same. Low key, even though like it's in my heart to just blame the corporation for everything, I feel like they're correct. I don't believe Taco Bell had literally any way of knowing that this was going to happen, and once it was brought to their attention, they were really, really quick about it, which I appreciate. Like, Taco Bell doesn't grow the lettuce that they use. I just don't necessarily see them as responsible for this. Someone said blah blah corporate word salad. Yeah, speaking of salad. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, obviously Taco Bell's main priority is not going to be the health of their user base. It would just be like, oh, we got to make sure people don't stop eating here. But I'm glad, obviously, that they took the necessary precautions. In fact, I will tell you who I see at fault a lot more than Taco Bell. Taylor Farms. Taylor Farms product recall information. So yeah, this is actually so much worse than it seems. Their recall, oh, I can't zoom in far enough. Their recall has now extended to 27 states. We only have 50. The shredded iceberg product was distributed June 29th through July 16th in all of these 27 states, and they're listing all of these products that were affected by this, etc. So they're obviously issuing a full recall. Consumers who have purchased the recalled iceberg lettuce should discard it immediately and not consume it. Full refunds are available at the location of purchase. Customers experiencing health issues should contact their physician. Yeah, of course you guys can't fix this. And it's like, again, like, do I believe Taylor Farms is selling infected lettuce for fun? No, obviously this is bad for them, but they just really, really suck as a company. First of all, like, Taylor Farms supplies many of the largest supermarket chains and food service restaurants in the United States. They have a monopoly when it comes to lettuce and whatever else they're selling. Taylor Farms has faced difficulties with labor shortages, labor contractors, and salaries, and they've been subject to claims that they abuse temporary worker contractors by keeping the quote-unquote temporary employees as low-salaried long-term employees. There were worker protests in 2016, 900 employees protesting in front of Chipotle because they were trying to draw attention to the working conditions at Taylor Farms, which they said included poverty, wages, disrespect, and severe violations of their most basic rights. The workers, represented by the labor union, the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, aim to pressure Taylor Farms to negotiate labor contracts. So, like, am I surprised that these sort of conditions led to a lack of quality control? No. And do I blame the workers? Absolutely not. This very much seems like a case of you get what you pay for. Like, this is insane on their part. And they're lucky, low key, that everybody's associating this with Taco Bell instead of them. Taco Bell, who I can't believe I'm defending on the internet today. Also, like, Taylor Farms has had food safety problems before. So says NBC. Oh, crap. Okay, well, we got blocked by that. Taylor Farms has had food safety problems before. So says NBC News. And it goes into more detail about that on Wikipedia. Let me go back. You should not have multiple paragraphs in your food safety and recall section, but they were recalled in 2011, recalled in 2012, 2013, 6 times, baby spinach in 39 states for an E. coli contamination. In 2024, Taylor Farms announced a recall after it was linked to the E. coli outbreak because of raw onions consumed at McDonald's. And now, of course, the 2026 cyclosporiasis outbreak. It almost seems like Taylor Farms always found at the scene of the crime. So yeah, I guess I kind of hate them. I'm not gonna lie. So where does this leave everybody? Well, as you can imagine, the lawsuits have begun and they're not looking pretty. They're not looking good for anybody involved. Okay, hold on. Oh, crap. I put the wrong link here. Hold on. I'll be able to find this easily. All I have to do is search Texas Army vet sues over lettuce. That's pretty easy to find. Okay, news. I guess this is the one that I had.
The Department of Health is reporting a significant...
They're trying to do my job. This is my job. Texas Army veteran describes ongoing illness in lawsuit tied to Taco Bell cyclospora outbreak. David Ott says he was bedridden for 2 weeks and missed a family vacation after eating at an Ohio Taco Bell. Zooming in here. So this is like literally the most American sentence I am ever going to say on this channel, but a retired U.S. military vet from Texas went to a gun convention in Ohio and then got sick from eating lettuce and is now suing Taco Bell. And if you're starting to see why I wanted to talk about the story, this is actually why. That being said, I do still feel bad for him. He didn't ask to get sick. It says his symptoms had recently intensified again, despite starting to the antibiotic used to treat the parasitic infection. It comes and goes sometimes, and you start to think you're starting to feel better, and then it's kind of bad again. And this is true, actually. If you go back to that symptoms page from the CDC, someone said, "What a time to be alive." I know, man. One of the things that it lists that really sucks about this is symptoms may seem to go away and then return one or more times. Hold on. Oh, full screen pop-ups. Oh, how I hate you. Okay, there we go. I closed it. But yeah, this is being described. Oh my god. Why talk? This is being described by his attorneys as the first lawsuit connected to this, but it's certainly not the last one. Also, out of boredom, I looked at the gun convention because I was just like, Gun Con is the thing that he was in Ohio for. Oh, I have to enter my age to log into this. Okay, this is not my actual birthday. I can't be bothered. Those things never go back far enough. I scroll and scroll and scroll, and then it stops at 1900, and it's like, I was literally born in the 50s. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, anyways, sorry, this is literally such an aside. But this is sometimes I look around at people and I'm just like, I swear to God, everybody else is living in a different America than me. I don't, maybe I'm just some sort of like, I'm missing out on the full America experience because I wasn't able to see Johnny B, Kevin Dixie, which I'm sure is not a dog whistle name at all, and Mr. Gunsgear performing. Do they perform? What do? Do they sing? Or is this a girl group? I don't know, dude, but I love America so much, actually. Nightmare blunt rotation. Someone said the one dude in his suit is frying me. Yeah, how could we forget the Republican candidate for Ohio governor being there as well, along with Concrete Cowboy. I love everything. But despite all of this, you don't deserve to get a parasitic infection because you went to Taco Bell. I hope that's clear. I support the lawsuit, bro. I don't care. Let's see. Pulling this right here. And it's just been more and more. Taco Bell hit with federal lawsuits over infections. So as Forbes sort of recaps for us, Muhammad Ayad, an Ohio man, sued Taco Bell franchisee Pacific Bells on Thursday, saying he became sick and was left unable to function. A couple in Michigan, the hardest hit state, sued Taco Bell on Friday, saying they ate the lettuce on June 30th, got the illness, accusing the chain of negligence and violating the state's Consumer Protection Act. Plaintiff Valerie Caruso sued them on Friday, saying she visited them 3 times in June, was diagnosed in July, was unable to take the recommended medication because of an allergy. And that is actually crazy to even think about. I feel really bad for these people. Both the Michigan lawsuit and Caruso named Taylor Farms, which obviously, as WAPO reported, is the supplier of the contaminated lettuce, as a defendant. So, yikes. Someone said Taco Bell doesn't deserve this. Again, I personally feel like I don't understand how Taco Bell could possibly have avoided this. But if we were to redirect all of these lawsuits to specifically the lettuce people, I would be happy about that. Also, one thing I didn't know is that Taco Bell has shooters. They literally they have ride or dies on this internet. So I'm not defending them because I'm a fan, but they got fans out here. They posted a statement after pulling the lettuce, which is basically just like, guys, please come back and pay us. We swear you're not going to get sick. We want you to hear from us. We take your health and safety seriously and have removed all affected Taylor Farms lettuce from Taco Bell stores. So go ahead and enjoy your Taco Bell today. You always got us. We always got you. See you in the drive-thru. And the comments are just really funny. Explosive diarrhea didn't stop me before, and it won't stop me now. I was like 38,000 up. I was missing Taco Bell's entire social media strategy here. I didn't know this was happening. This is Taylor Farms and potentially other issues, not Taco Bell. No parasites stop me from having Taco Bell. I would never switch up on you, my beloved. It's okay, Taco Bell. I already have IBS, so I wouldn't even notice. I love you. There's no parasitic lettuce on an enchilada. Make it a permanent menu item. I would trust a cheesy gordita crunch before I trust this FDA. I mean, okay, let's not trust Taco Bell more than the government. I agree the specific iteration of the government is a mess, but oh my God, somebody help me. Notes app apology. What about my diarrhea? Consuming Taco Bell throughout my life, I've developed a cast iron stomach. Anyway, we get the point. People are being funny about this, which I'm glad, because again, this is not striking me as a particularly egregious story. Taylor Farms also put out a statement, which I'm like, I find it to be kind of sad. Someone says, "Is sincere from Love Island?" Never beating the beloved allegations. They posted this talking about, as a family owned and operated company. Shut up. Sorry. As a family owned and operated company, we are deeply concerned for those who became ill. You ain't even concerned for your own workers. Okay, I need to stop interjecting. We are deeply concerned for those who became ill, their families, and the many Americans whose trust in the safety of their fresh produce has been shaken. That trust is something we've worked for decades to earn, and we are committed to doing everything in our power to restore that confidence. And then they proceed to try to make it sound like it's not really our fault. It's just one little quote unquote independent farm that we were working with. It says, while the FDA traceback is indicating a specific independent farm, which represents less than 1% of the U.S. iceberg lettuce supply as the potential source of this outbreak, we've removed all iceberg lettuce from the region indefinitely. And it's like, first of all, I find this to be kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Irresponsible, because the FDA has not unanimously, or the FDA has not definitively said this is the only cause of this. It's a possibility, actually, that other Taylor Farms products could be at fault too. We just don't know because these things are hard to trace. No thanks to this government. But yeah, they say they're removing all of the ones from that specific Central Mexico location. And they say no Taylor Farms branded salads or kits are associated with this outbreak. No Taylor Farms branded salad kits contain iceberg lettuce. So I don't know why I just find it so odd where they're almost basically saying, please keep buying our lettuce, go buy some right now. I think you should mostly be saying, hey, we're putting this on hold, we're taking a break, we're trying to get to the bottom of it, but we'll, alas, what do I know about food safety? More than RFK Jr. probably, but that's neither here nor there. Pulling this right here, and someone said my lunch just got here. I'll come back later if the stream is still here. Yeah, I would not want to watch any of this while eating. As for where this kind of leaves us, PBS News, who, by the way, I pulled up in this website earlier and I got a full page pop-up about how PBS is also getting their budget cut thanks to this administration. And I just, that's okay. As they point out sort of at the bottom of this article, or they, wait, do I not have? Hold on, chat. I had this, I had it saved. Let's see. Take two. Oh, here we go. A record number of cyclospora cases have been reported in more than 30 states, and experts have said not every recent U.S. illness might be caused by a single source. So this is just kind of bad. It might not even be purely Taylor Farms' fault, but they certainly have something to do with this. And that's pretty much it. I guess if I had to, like, someone said Taco Bell foot lettuce. I'm mad that you beat me to this, but I'm going to make the joke anyway. I guess if I had to sum this up, the last thing you'd want in your Taco Bell taco is someone else's infected lettuce, but it turns out that might be exactly what you get. So I didn't want to say poop lettuce because that's literally just like disgusting. It's just gross, man. I hate it. Someone said number 15. I haven't heard that name in years. Literally me neither. Any other notes, any other thoughts, comments, concerns about the Taco Bell scenario? I tried to cover it without fear-mongering or misleading. I think I did a good job. I really had to research this because I didn't know what cyclospora was. At first, I thought this was purely Taco Bell's fault. And I didn't know how serious this was. Is this something I should be afraid of? But no, it feels like everything is fine. Someone said, wasn't that Burger King that had the foot lettuce? Yeah, it was. I was just parodying that at the end. Reading chat. Someone says, wait, hold on. I like this. Someone says, I do think Taco Bell is a little responsible for continuing to work with a supplier that had repeated health concerns. And you know what? That's a good point. Because for as much as I can sit here and absolve them of this one specific issue where I guess technically they didn't cause it, I guess it wasn't really that hard for me to go to Taylor Farms' Wikipedia and literally see the multiple food safety recalls stemming back over the past, I think, literally 15 years. So when you put it from that perspective, no company is good, and I hate all of them. I think that's a great point. Reading chat. Someone said, why didn't they change the players? That has a known issue. Yeah, no, I guess there's a broader problem here of like, probably, if I'm being honest, Taco Bell's just using the cheapest option. And obviously, I don't think Taylor is charging them much because they're not paying their employees much, etc. It's just a mess, man. Someone says, yeah, we established they don't care about us. Yeah, no, it's you can't be trusting none of these companies. Really, trust only yourself. Don't even trust yourself. You're a product of society. You can't trust anybody. Trust Hatsune Miku. She's not a real person. She's a little cartoon avatar pop singer. You know, trust people who aren't real. Nobody else is left. Someone said, why is the farm not being looked at more if this is a repeated thing? Because literally imagine there ever being consequences for the actions of people who hold monopolies in a capitalist society. I would imagine. I don't know. I don't know if Taylor Farms is lobbying in any way to prevent people from caring, but also currently we have government that doesn't care about anything that is important. So I wouldn't trust them for anything. Someone said that Hatsune Miku wouldn't give people a stomach bug. I don't think she would. I don't think I'm being parasocial when I say Hatsune Miku, everyone's favorite pop singer robot child, would never do this to us. And that's that on that. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Everybody say goodbye. Don't leave yet because I'm not ending the stream just yet, but I got to record an outro. Someone said, are you saying trust AI? Hatsune Miku is not AI. How dare you? Someone said if Hatsune Miku turns on us, this is going to be a scary day. It really is. Anyways, that's all I have to say on Taco Bell. More than I ever thought I would have to say about Taco Bell. But yeah, hopefully you never have to think about this ever again. I know I will certainly try not to. And I actually recorded this video live right here on YouTube, where I stream quite frequently. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Unless, of course, I don't, in which case I'm probably just, I don't know, sleeping. But yeah, hopefully I see you in the next stream or the next video. And if not, that doesn't matter at all. Okay, bye. All right. I'm going to stop recording. All right, I hit stop. We good. No more buys. I mean, no more goodbyes. Buys are allowed. Hi, bye, people. Welcome. That was... What a topic, bro. What even was that topic? I think it was important to talk about, though, because, like, I was confused. I think, like, I didn't know what was happening, and the phrase outbreak is scary as hell, but thankfully, again, this isn't a deadly, it's not a deadly parasite or anything like that. Someone says Wendy's is just as bad when it comes to not paying farm workers. Yeah, Wendy's has been having problems. I remember talking about them years ago because of, like, basically child labor law violations, if I remember correctly. Wendy's is a mess, but they're all so bad, though. They are literally all so bad, for sure. Reading chat. Someone said watching the outro live for the first time is like watching the Mona Lisa be painted live. If you yourself were a stroke in the painting, no less. Thank you for your contributions. Someone said, remember the Hansa virus at the beginning of the year? I would prefer not to. Yeah, I do. And that wasn't fun either. Someone said, I love the eyebrows, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate that greatly. Someone said, do you think this incident will increase or decrease Taco Bell sales? In the short term, probably I could see people shying away if they don't know the full details. But in the long term, nothing bad will ever happen to them. I really feel. Someone said the one time my partner got sick from fast food was Wendy's. I think I've gotten sick from Wendy's before too, actually. I really, really do. I also remember making a video one time about the fast food wars. It was a really fun video about, like, I think we talked about McDonald's And I think Wendy's was in there. Taco Bell might have even been mentioned. It was really great, but I made a grave error in that video, and that was the time that everyone called me a Zionist because I mentioned Starbucks without mentioning the boycott. So this is my first foray back into the fast food world after that video, which was a little bit, I don't want to use the word traumatic, but I do believe there's like capital T traumas and lowercase t ones, and this was a nice win in my book. I'm glad I was able to cover this without being like, oh man, remember that last time I tried to talk about something and I messed it up so bad that everyone thought that I was hatred incarnate. But yeah, we grow, we thrive. I would say I'm like 85% over that scenario. When it happened, I was 0% over it. I was shook. I was scared. I was angry and upset and sad and a lot of things. But I think I've moved to like, I'm 85% fine. It wasn't that big of a deal. And someday I will be all the way. I will be all the way okay. Oh my God, that was such a mess, man. So I remember that. It was a time, buddy. I think that is quite literally, if I remember correctly, I think that's the only time I've actually had any sort of like really bad crisis. Because I've had things that I've had to apologize for, unfortunately, and I probably will again. I tried to have good takes, but I am just a person. It's not possible. And also, forget me being just a person. No excuses. Sometimes I choose wrong. I try not to do that, but I've done it before. But like that was, I think, the one time where I was like, whoa, if I don't say something right now, I think something very bad's going to happen. So I'm glad I got ahead of that. I really, really am. Someone said, where are your eyebrows? They're still there. They're on low power mode. Someone said this was super helpful. I read about it yesterday. I didn't even get half this info. Yeah, I don't know why I had to read like 14 articles, including things from like the University of Michigan and all these other things to piece it together. But I'm glad I was able to help you because it helps me a lot of learning exactly what was going on here. Someone said, I agree with the person who said your eyebrows make you look like a powerful sorcerer. Thank you. I'm trying to look like I'm transcending things for real, for real. But you know what though? I did still honestly learn a lot from that experience, which I try not to talk about too much, even though it was very formative. I learned a lot from the Starbucks fiasco, and like it had a net positive effect on me. It might have been really uncomfortable in the short term, but it honestly encouraged me to be way more upfront about the things I actually do believe in instead of letting people fill in the blanks, because it turns out everybody only has evil crayons. Nobody wants to fill in the blanks with good. So I realized, like, hey, next time something's coming up and it's tangentially at all related to, say, Palestine, this would be a great time to let people know, hey, my channel is not a safe space for people who want to ignore a genocide that's going on or defend, what Israel is doing or the United States funding it. It wouldn't even be possible without us, unfortunately. Or like when ICE comes up, I usually will take a second to be like, and speaking of ICE, their deadly overreach and, violence against not just citizens, but yes, even the undocumented needs to be ended immediately, abolish them, etc. And I think my content has gotten better because of it. I really do. So like, I'm not, I guess, happy that it happened in that exact way, but I think that was the last push I needed for sure to just stop being vague ever, because it doesn't serve anybody. It really doesn't. But I just still feel like I don't know if it had to be all that. That's how I feel. I don't know if it had to be all that, but I will take the lessons from wherever I can take them from. Yay. Someone said, I want you to know that as a viewer who's watched you for years, I've always been so proud to call myself a fan because you own up to mistakes and actually speak up. I try. I really do, even if it's difficult for me. I think the thing is, like, it doesn't have to be that hard to be like, ooh, I could have done better. And truthfully, I can always do better. We can all always do better for sure. But yeah, it's never once killed me to slow down and wonder if I could have handled something better. It's never made my day worse to stop and admit, honestly, like, oh, I think I have some responsibility here. It's never really a good idea to look at something that's going wrong and just basically assume that I don't know, it's just happening to you because God hates you or whatever. I mean, I think a lot of things that happen to me do happen because God hates me. He's literally so jealous. Literally so jealous. He actually made Jesus part 2 when he designed me. Like, he went crazy. He went stupid. And it's not my fault. God, you didn't have to curse me with the world hating me for no reason. But also, like, that's neither here nor there. I also have agency and personal responsibility, and so I try to take that wherever possible, because I prefer when people do that. They piss me off when they don't. I get annoyed. Someone says it's made me a better person learning to own my goofs. Yeah, I feel like being a good person in my mind isn't a thing. I don't think it's a thing that you are by default. It's not true. I used to believe that, honestly, that like there are good people in this world and there are bad people or whatever. And did I think I was a good person? I don't know, probably. But I've really come to realize that being good is honestly a choice that you make every single day. Every single day, because it doesn't matter. You could have done good for 50 years and then get presented with the opportunity to do bad. If you do that, you're being a bad person. So this whole false dichotomy of like good person, bad person, I want to follow the good people on the internet. Don't worry about that. There are no good people on the internet. Try to just be someone who does good whenever the opportunity presents itself, which I guess you could easily say is called being a good person. But like, I don't know. I do think there's a difference. The older I get, I'm starting to feel like it's not black or white. Nothing is black and white, honestly. I mean, I'm black. Some of y'all are white, but you know what I mean. Reading chats. Someone said, I wish KFC here sold entire watermelons and rotisserie chickens like they do in China. Do they actually do that? Because I would buy a rotisserie chicken from KFC. I don't know if that's true, but I would absolutely buy that. Someone says you remind me of Echo from Arcane. Well, that character design is goated, so thank you. That makes me happy. You're so nice. Someone said the older the wiser. I don't know, bro. The older the something. The older the something. I think like when I was young, when I was really, 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 really young, and I asked my mom, Mother, what is wisdom? And she was like, you're 5, so don't worry about it. But she basically explained it's something that like you get when you're older, or you can. She made it very clear it doesn't just happen to you. And she told me like it takes a while to like get it, and you will more so know when you know. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I moved on with my life. And yeah, I think I almost know what wisdom is. I think I do know what wisdom is now. It's, in my mind, just space for possibility of a reality separate from what you're feeling, I guess. That's how I feel. I feel like back when I was unwise, which is still now, by the way, because I'm literally only 27. But back when I was unwise all the time, I just don't think I knew how to hold space for the idea that things in this world might be different than the way I was immediately interpreting them or feeling about them. So something would happen, and in my mind, it was black and white. It was just like, well, I feel this way, and I can see this with my own eyes, and blah. Yeah, I might be moving smartly or whatever, but nowadays I try to apply a little bit of wisdom and just be like, ooh, okay, this made me feel a certain way and this looks a certain way, but I've been burnt enough times to know sometimes things are not the way that they look or they feel. And I can delay my reactions a little bit now in a way that I could not when I feel like I had less whatever the hell wisdom might be. So that's kind of what I think it is. It's just your ability to stop for a second and be like, wait a second. And then enhance, like zoom in a little bit or zoom out. I think a lot of times wisdom is just zooming out. You just be zooming the hell out. I literally live my life like with the phone camera zoomed in on 20x all the time. And for me, sometimes I'm like, can we just like reset it to a wide angle view so I can actually think about what this little slice means in the context of the broader picture? So that's that's maybe partially what wisdom is a little bit. I don't know. I still don't know what it is. I don't think I ever will. I really don't. I also like feel like at the end of the day, you don't have to worry so much about, I'm trying to worry less about like figuring it out anyway. I'm trying to feel less like a child because I'm tired of being like literally almost 28 and then just still feeling like, wow, I literally have the same brain that I did when I was like 17 and I don't feel much different. I don't really feel much different. I feel older, especially physically. Like my knees would never betray me like this if I was a teenager. But like sometimes I just feel like the exact same person I've always been since I was 4. the exact same person. And I don't know if I've changed at all. I don't know if I even can. It's wild, man. It's wild as hell. Someone said my older family members are proof that you can be old and not have it figured out. No one's got to figure it out, so who cares? Yeah, honestly, like, what does figuring it out even mean? I don't think I've really ever seen anybody who has their life figured out, to be quite honest. Because even if it's mostly okay, I get close enough to them and I see there's something else where they do not have it figured out at all. Someone said very common to see PTSD. Okay, well, I'm trying not to think about the PTSD aspect of it because I do have that, but I mean, that doesn't help. PTSD is crazy as hell, man. I don't usually talk about that a lot because like but like that joint sucks so bad. It sucks so bad, actually. I just feel like, first of all, it's so misunderstood because people literally like think that it is I'm just using like a meme phrase like Vietnam War flashbacks. like they'll show a dog making a weird face and they'll be like, oh my gosh, she's getting Vietnam War flashbacks or whatever. In people's minds, that is what PTSD is. And just as somebody who never was in a war, thankfully, yeah, no, there's actually so many ways of winding up with this specific problem. Yeah. And I had my own very special, amazing, and unique, fantastic path to there, which I'm so happy about. Yeah, that's great. But yeah, PTSD sucks. I want to move on from it. I want to be the person I would be without it. Because I feel like, low-key, if I could just pick any disorder to get rid of forever, I think it would be that one. Someone said I have CPTSD. I choose to ignore it. I literally choose to ignore it. I think I almost never talk about PTSD on stream, and I really think I would keep this. I know this sounds stupid as hell, but I'm being honest with you. I would definitely keep the ADHD, and I don't feel like obviously it would be great to have never had depression or anxiety, but if I had to get rid of something and keep the others, it would be the PTSD, because that's the one that really just keeps resetting me to the point where I feel like I'm not making any progress with the other things. And that's an illusion. I've actually made great progress in many aspects of my life, but I feel like if there's one reason where it feels like no matter how much you learn about what medication you should use or what psychotherapy benefits are helping you in a day-to-day life, all it takes is one little thing going slightly wrong, and then you're just like, you're 4. Ha! Boo! You're 4. And I'm like, oh no, I'm 4. What? And it's like nothing matters anymore. All of the growth was literally just a meme, and you're completely incapable of functioning as a typical human being. So yeah, I could do without the flashbangs. That's all. I feel like I've made peace with the slow, non-linear journey to being better, but the actual like poof flashbang that is PTSD, feeling like a hard reset button, even though that's not what it is, I could do without. And that's how I feel about that's probably all I'm gonna say about it. I don't know how to talk about that one. I'm good at talking about the other things, but like that one is just infuriating. Someone said I would get rid of depression. Bro, I would get rid of that one too, though. Like, if I could just get rid of all of them, I almost would. I don't know if this is the right take or not, but I like my ADHD. I don't enjoy executive dysfunction. I don't enjoy emotional dysregulation. Those are my two biggest issues that I experience as somebody with ADHD. Those two things are not cute. They're not fun, and it would be nice to get rid of them. But like, I don't know. I just don't think I would. If you would, that's fine and good. It makes sense to me. I completely understand why somebody would be like, I just don't want to have this. And sometimes I think that to myself, especially when things get really bad. But like, also, I just am this way. I won't say it's who I am, because I'm a lot of other things for sure, but I don't know. I just don't think I would be the exact person I was if I didn't experience this. Even when I'm literally good with it and everything is like, it's popping, it's giving. When the medication and the therapy are giving what's supposed to be gave, I still feel very heavily like somebody who has ADHD and whose experiences are filtered through that perspective. I don't think I would trade it. I don't know. And my life is good now, but I've really run into some issues because of this one. But yeah, I don't know. It's odd. I guess if I knew who I would be without it, then maybe I would trade it, I guess. But I worked really, really hard to be at least neutral to this version of me that does have it. I don't like it, but I don't hate it anymore because I can't do anything about it. And so I feel like I put so much work in. I may as well stick here. So I don't think I'd want to be neurotypical. Yeah, I don't think I would. It's so hard for me to say. I have no way of knowing. I really, really don't. Oh my God. Someone said, D'Angelo, just the thought, it would be cool if you had the background music for your streams. You should just put on some background music if you want it. Because I don't play any background music. You can fill it in. I think we almost never have music going on. I used to have background music in my streams, but nowadays I like it to be quiet. I more so like to give people the ability to turn it into what they want to do or to what they want to experience. So like if you want like extra stuff going on, you can do it, but I'm just like the base layer essentially. I'm just like a little base layer. Someone says, do you think it's possible to live quote unquote normally with ADHD without medication? No. No. Do I think it's possible to live well with ADHD without medication? Yes, I do, for sure. I just think normally is doing some really heavy lifting, and at the end of the day, you have a neurodevelopmental disorder. So, no, if you're not being at the very least like treated for this neurodevelopmental disorder, it's not going to be normal for you. You're not going to have a typical life or experiences. Absolutely not. So yeah, no, I don't know. Now, granted, there are people literally who don't take medicine anyway, and they do have ADHD and they're fine. But are they living normally? No. Ask me how I know. Based off of my past experiences. Ask me how I know. Oh my God. Someone says, I don't even think it's possible to live normally with medication. Me neither. Medication is just another problem. Like, yes, it's helping, but then it's like, I don't want to. I am not dissuading anybody from getting it. I also just don't want you guys to think like, oh yeah, we're going to start something and then it's instantly going to fix everything. It's a journey, and you are committing. You are committing to figuring out what works for you, how to manage the side effects. And the end result, I'm telling you, is so much better. It's literally so much better than the alternative, but like, it's all a little tricky. Someone says, I take meds for the depression and the PTSD, but maybe my ADHD is mild, but I'm okay. Yeah, I don't judge anybody who doesn't take medication. I really don't. I used to get Because like for the longest time, I've talked about this before, but the reason that I couldn't even get into it was because I hadn't sorted out the anxiety thing, so I couldn't take medication anyway. It's like, oh, you need like meds for this, and my anxiety is like, but if you take those, like, what if your life falls apart? And then I was like, never mind. You're right, anxiety. So like it's not even as easy as just like sit down and take a pill type beat. It's a journey for everybody. Someone said, I love my meds, they help so much, but I don't feel normal. Yeah, it's not a normal experience. Or actually though, I don't even like the word normal. I prefer the word typical a lot more. Mostly just because ADHD is incredibly normal in that, like, and yes, like, I'm literally mincing words and I'm not offended if people say normal because I know what they mean, but I had to retrain my own brain though. Because I used to think of myself as being like so abnormal or whatever, but that just made me feel so bad about myself all the time. And then I recontextualized everything, and I'm like, emotional dysfunction is normal because not only do I have it, but even people who have other disorders or disabilities can also experience this. There are people who don't have ADHD and they still experience emotional dysregulation. Whether that's because you have, I don't want to start naming things incorrectly. Maybe something like borderline personality disorder or whatever. Like, so first of all, I am having a normal experience. It's just not typical of people who don't have these problems. That's kind of how I think about that. So yeah, I don't think I have a typical experience, but it's a vibe, I guess. It's a vibe for real. Someone said, I feel like people have used be normal in an insulting way for so long. It holds so much stigma. Yeah, that's the thing too. I think I started reclaiming normal for me as like, I am a normal person because I spent so much of my time trying to be normal. Like I literally hated myself for feeling like abnormal. And that's why nowadays I tell myself, you are normal, D'Angelo. You still need to stay on top of your treatment because you're not that normal. But you are a normal human being. Don't worry. Yay. Oh my God. Reading chat. Some said the normal, like who? The president, the Real Housewives, any random American. Yeah, who is actually normal, by the way? Point to a normal person. I'll wait. I really will. Reading in chat. Some said, I stopped trying to be normal a while ago, man. Yeah, just give up. Disconnect from this idea. Just say that you either are or you're not and you don't care. They're the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Reading chat. Someone says, I think it would be so much easier for me to live with my ADHD if we didn't live in a capital cell. I'm going to zoom right back out of that thought. Otherwise, it's going to go really dark really fast. But you're absolutely correct. And I don't want to think about the impact of that on us and everybody, by the way, who's dealing with anything. It's absolutely a mess, man. Someone says, I think of normal as like healthy and regulated based off your own norms. Oh, I like that, actually. Not like socially. No, I think I see what you mean. Okay, so basically your definition of normal isn't like there's a chart and we should all be on the line. Your definition is more like everybody has their own chart with their own line. And as long as you're sticking to it, you're being normal. I think I agree with that. And that's also a pretty good baseline for when I need help too. Because sometimes I am all over the place and I'm like, this doesn't feel normal. And I can, with help, get regulated to a point where I'm normal for me. So yeah, I think normal is much more of an individual thing, even though technically it's seen as a societal thing. But you should be more worried about what is healthy for you, I fear, than what anybody else thinks about you. I really like that. No, I like that too. And as far as my own busted chart goes, I'm normal as hell. I really am. Reading chat. Someone said if everyone had ADHD, then the world would be more chaotic because everyone would have executive dysfunction. Yeah, I'm glad everyone doesn't have it. If everyone in the world had ADHD, nobody would have ever finished developing the medication for it. Would have been like, oops, I forgot. Oh, I lost the paperwork. We would all still, no one ever would have even come up with a name for it. If there weren't neurotypical people who could finish things without problems. Womp, womp, womp. Someone said getting off social media totally helps me. Bro, we should all be taking a break. I swear to God, if you can get away with it, which almost everyone can, most people should try to take, at the very least, a week off. Just take a week off of social media entirely. 7 days. That includes me, by the way. I'll still be here. You can just watch all my stuff after. Teehee. No, literally. I think everybody should take 1 week off of social media. To where you're not scrolling a feed for anything. You're not like, I don't know, don't search, don't worry, because here's the thing that's going to happen. You're still going to find out very quickly how it's still possible for you to know about everything. Anytime you've ever seen me on a social media break, I hate the phrase social media break because social media is not a real thing. It's not a real job. I mean, it is because I do work and try, but like social media break makes it feel like I was really doing something crazy and I needed a respite. But sometimes I do take them. And anytime I'm on a social media break, I still wind up finding out everything that happens. Someone said YouTube is social media. And yeah, like YouTube is a video sharing platform, but I consider it social media. I consider Reddit social media. I know a lot of y'all would be like, but I would be so bored. I have taken entire weeks without watching YouTube, worrying about what's happening there, not going on Reddit, not opening Twitter links or TikTok videos that people send me or whatever. I mean, I guess I will still do that if someone sends me something, but like, you will be surprised how easy it is to still know everything that happens, even without immersing yourself in the cesspool. And then you can just come back. You can just come back to everything after the fact, and it's not that big of a deal. Someone says someone says you can literally get caught back up within a day. Literally within 1 day, you can instantly. Well, this is gonna take a while probably, but you can literally just recover everything that you quote unquote missed, and that's when you realize, wow, I didn't really miss anything. But yeah, it's just those like 1 week breaks just make me so happy. They really can, and I feel more equipped to deal with the storm of nonsense that I see when I get off of the break. Someone said do half a year without a phone. It's lovely. If you can get away with that, that would be awesome. I guess I probably could not have a phone, but that's only because I think I have enough privilege to not need a phone. No, I still need one though, low key, because like I don't live in the same place as my family, for example, and they definitely need to be able to contact me. But I guess I could use like a dumb phone instead of a smartphone. But also, I don't wanna. I want to look at cool pictures of tattoos and dyed hair and weird earrings and stuff like that. Oh, you know what I've gotten really into? So I'm going to do it. I'll see you in a week or whenever you do this. You don't have to do this right away. And also, if you're 3 days in or even 3 hours in and you're like, this is stupid, just get back on social media. It's okay. Don't make yourself miserable. But listen, I've gotten into charms and I'm so excited. I could not be more excited for my charm era. So like, this has nothing to do with anything I've just said. If you're wondering how the hell did he just pivot from this to that, it's because I was thinking about why I don't want to give up my phone. I want to look up my silly fixations, and my current fixation is charm jewelry, you know, like charm bracelets or whatever. Someone said, where do you get them? Okay, so that's what I'm still trying to figure out, because I had no idea that these joints could be so expensive. Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you what happened with me and my little charm journey when I realized I was going about this the wrong way. I'm gonna open my. I'm trying to send the document from my phone to my computer so I can show you guys what happened to me, because it was ugly and it was bad. Okay, there we go. So I had Googled, I think, I was like, let me find it. Charmed shirts used. Images, and I found this on Reddit, which is social media, contrary to popular belief. Sorry, I know you can't see anything right now. I'm just trying to find the page I was on. Oh crap. Okay, hold on, chat. I swear to God, I will be able to find this. Oh, I misspelled charms, and that's why I wasn't finding what I was looking for. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, hold on. I took a picture. I took a screenshot of what I'm trying to show you. So let me just share my screenshot with the class. Photo, collections. Oh my God. On this device, screenshots. No, I think I downloaded it. Yeah. Okay, share. OneDrive. I always say this whenever this starts happening, but now you guys see why I do all of the research for my streams before starting to stream, because sometimes even taking one picture can take this long, and that would not be a cute stream. Okay, so going to my OneDrive from here, let's see if I can find what I just shared. Photo. TikTok. Yay, we got there. Okay. I saw this picture, and it was so beautiful. Of this person with like multiple rings in their stretched slope, wearing a bunch of charm jewelry. And I was like, that's so... I love this for me. I want to feel this way. It's not my style of jewelry personally. I'm not really into like gold or anything, but I just thought it was so pretty, like so dragon coated, so shiny. Not something that I would wear out, obviously. I would be so worried about losing this, but definitely something I would wear for a picture for like you guys. I'm like, oh look, I put a bunch of charms in my ears, right? Well, I ran into two major problems. Problem number one, pulling this right here. Let's see. I added this to my agenda. Somebody on Reddit was like, oh yeah, I know where they got literally all of those charms from, and you can get them too. A lot of these are from Modern Mood, which you can buy through Starfire body jewelry for thousands of dollars. People on Reddit were like, yeah, that picture is like $1,500 to $2,500 worth of jewelry minimum. And I was like, that literally cannot be right. That can't be right. Yes, actually, this little sword charm, as pretty as it is $250. $250. You can get this little chain attachment for a cool $500. We have these little teeny tiny chains for $250, $675 for this little dingly cross from Regalia Jewelry. Obviously $1,000, duh, for this quote unquote junk charm chain. And yeah, I was like, oh no. Here's why I'm not doing that. First of all, because I don't want to spend thousands of dollars for something that I can't stress enough I wouldn't feel comfortable wearing outside. I feel like I would wind up losing it or snagging it. I don't think that that's a great everyday wear look. So hell no. And then also people were pointing out another problem with this that made me really sad. Whereas Modern Mood is a real brand, obviously. And they post really, really cool and really beautiful jewelry like this. Whoever assembled that photo, like here, you can see stuff like this all the time. It's really gorgeous, right? But whoever assembled that photo was probably using AI. And I was like, what do you mean by that? Somebody said something about this photo is a little bit off, because I want you to look at some of these clickers. And I zoomed in. So for those of you who don't know, clickers are like the rings up here. And they were like, how come it seems like this clicker right here is attached to this other ring, but then also crosses through it at the bottom? And I was like, oh, I looked a little bit closer at the way these rings are constructed, and I got really, really annoyed because I'm just like, this is actually an AI picture. I think what somebody did is take a bunch of actual real modern mood jewelry and, I don't know, filter it through like, I don't know, Gemini, ChatGPT, something like that, and have them create a fake lobe setup. This is absolutely AI. It's not real. So I got so sad. Just so you know, you can do this, chat. I know that this is not a real picture. You absolutely can put a bunch of rings through your ears. I've seen people do it. And you can attach however many charms you want to them. I think right now I probably can fit 4 different rings in my ear if I wanted to, because they're, I think, 10G. But yeah, like, I realized my idol was a lie. It was a false statue. So now I'm on a mention. Someone said, why couldn't they just do it? People are so lazy, bro. People are so lazy. I don't know why. Like, I don't know what the actual context is, or like where they got this photo from. I don't know if, I feel like what maybe happened is they had some of the jewelry there and then they had AI bump it up with extra pizzazz, because it is very realistic looking, honestly. But my new goal, I'm going to create a real version of this. I'm going to create a real version of this, and I'm going to find my own little charm ring stack aesthetic. It's probably going to take me a while, and I think I need bigger ear holes, honestly. I always want bigger ear holes, so that's not a problem. And I'm going to figure out a way of doing this that is not stupid, not AI generated, and not going to cost me thousands of dollars. So yay. Someone said I'd buy it in silver. Yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards silver. And even that is helping a lot, because I wear a lot of titanium jewelry, and that is actually, I think all of the jewelry I'm wearing right now is titanium. That is much, is literally so much cheaper than like this gold sort of blingy actual real life precious gemstone type thing. And I don't know, a lot of times, like, where are these things even sourced from? I don't know. So I think just by sticking with not precious metal slash gemstones, this should wind up not costing me nearly as much. Someone said thrifting. Yeah, I am probably going to see if I can't just get my hands on some old jewelry and maybe take it apart. I am also probably going to be buying a few charms of my own. But yeah, I'm into charms now. Temporarily. Knowing me, after I achieve my result, then I'm just going to give up. Because I always do this. Someone said, I feel like silver makes me look jaundiced. Everybody has to find what works for them. For me, gold is not enough contrast, which is really sad. I know it's a hilarious thing for someone to say whose eyebrows are dyed yellow. I happen to look like the no contrast look up here. But like, for me, gold jewelry, it just does not pop. Honestly, it just looks like a continuation of my skin tone. So I am a huge silver color jewelry person, but specifically I prefer titanium. It's so great. It's so great. Someone said find a small business that makes their own charms. I like Zan Fran. I'm literally writing that down. Brother, I'm writing down Zan Fran. That was XANNEFRAN. Yeah, my goal was to just go to like Etsy and find people doing this. Also, something I discovered that I think is kind of I don't really love the idea of at all, is people were literally like, oh, just go to Temu and buy 100 charms for $5. Let's see if I can find that. Okay, hold on. I don't know why I'm searching so poorly to where nothing is coming up. Hold on. Images. Oh, I have to put jewelry. J E. Okay, hold on. I can spell. I swear to God. Yeah, here we go. So I don't know why it's discontinued, but yeah, people were literally like, oh, charms, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars. You can just buy 300 charms off of Temu. And I'm just like, maybe not. I understand manufacturers buying in bulk so that they can then turn it into other jewelry, but like, No thanks. I'm kind of good. Also, what does this say right here? What is that? Am I too lost in the AI accusation sauce? Is that supposed to say it says tea time, I guess. But is that not written in literally the craziest looking way imaginable? I'm sorry. That don't look normal to me. I gotta stop calling everything AI, but I can't imagine a human being designing the phrase tea time in that way. Someone said Timu looks like it's filled with AI. Yeah, no, it's a no for me. I think I'm good on Timu. I think I'm good on Shein for now. I may look in some other places first and never shop from there. Thank you. Someone says my sister-in-law got me a custom glass charm of my late guinea pig Smalls, and I absolutely love it. That sounds wonderful. That was so sweet of her to do that. It's a great way to honor Smalls, for real. Someone says, I feel like buying bulk charms off of Temu kind of defeats the purpose. Like, where is the collecting? Where's the curation? Exactly. I feel like the reason the aesthetic is so pretty to look at is because it has connotations of being, as you say, curated over an extended period of time. It's kind of like a life lived as represented through jewelry. And even though I am kind of shortcutting my way to that because I just want the look, I still want to at least try to put in a little bit of effort into curating it. So I just started thinking about some themes of like what exactly I'm looking for. And it's the same things as always. I think I'm going to go with like weapons. I love me like a good dagger, a good axe. I used to have these really fun axe earrings that I used to wear. I think I'm going to go with like stars, like 4-pointed stars, and also like arcane vibes, not the TV show, but just the aesthetic arcane itself of like magical, esoteric, sort of spooky, scary skeleton energy, and just combine all of this into like a medieval sorcery, silver death aesthetic, kind of. And if I can find enough pieces, I think that's going to wind up looking very cool someday. Yay. Someone says I want a sword. It's the only piercing I'd get. Dude, sword jewelry is so cool. It really, really is. I like axe jewelry even more because it's like sometimes I put on my sword jewelry and it looks like I'm wearing a cross and I'm like, what the hell? So just because I don't want anybody to think that I am, I just be wearing little axes. But also I wear crosses for fun too. I don't care. I'm not religious. It doesn't matter to me. Reading chat. Someone said moth charms would go so hard. I have seen some really great butterfly charms, and I'm sure you could find moth ones very easily. Very, very easily. Someone says, I think the silver / titanium will pop more with your brows too. I agree for sure. Yeah, I also, I feel like it might be too early for me to say this, but I feel like committing to the brows. I feel like committing to them a little bit. They're going to grow out, and they're going to have to get touched up because probably even a week from now, they're just going to look like frosted tips. Instead of actual bleached brows, I'm just going to have like two-tone frosted tip brows. But I kind of want to bleach them again. It feels like it's completing me right now as I am. I don't know if that makes sense. I was very worried about it. No, I wasn't. I don't know why I'm lying. I saw it on the runway model. And I was like, obviously that would work for me too. And then I did it, and it did, as I knew it would. But to pull some humility back into this, there was maybe a possibility that I just didn't have the chops. But yeah, no, it worked really well. I just want to keep it for a little while. I like the way it looks on camera. I like the way it looks in real life. I feel like it goes with my bald head really well too, which you're not seeing right now because but yeah, no, I love it. Someone said they grow out so quick. Yeah, I hate the idea that it's only lasting for like barely 5 days. But that's okay. I'm going to force myself to accept whatever results I get. These are the consequences of my actions, and I'm not obviously going to be dyeing them every 5 days either, so I have to learn to embrace the halfway grown out look as well. Someone says it works, but I did get jump scared from the last video because I was like, who is this? No, that's fair. I think it's a lot different than what was there before, for sure. So I'm currently at the frosted tip stage. Yeah. I don't know if I'm looking forward to that, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Someone said, I had bleached brows for years and I have dark hair, so I can tell you they're going to grow out fast, but you just got to upkeep. Hey, small price to pay to look like an anime character, honestly. Someone says you would look so good with shaved brows too, actually. Bro, I think I would. Don't tell me that. Because not now and not this year, and probably not while I'm making content on a day-to-day basis, but I do want to shave my eyebrows off at least once. I want to get rid of them entirely because I think it would be a really interesting look. The reason I won't do that now is because I'm still experimenting with the bleach, obviously, and I got to find what works for me. I did it one way, but I'm going to try another way next time, and whatever. Maybe I'll even bleach them to a different color next time. Who knows? Maybe more yellow, more orange, maybe whiter. But like, I'm having fun with my brows right now, and also I don't want to shave them off while I am on camera because I do feel like you get to a certain point. It gets to a point, basically, and I don't want people clicking in and like actually getting scared because it's an off-putting look. I don't care if other people are put off at all. I was never trying to put them on. So yeah, probably not anytime this year, but someday I will shave off my eyebrows in their entirety just to see how it feels, because I don't know. I already shave off all the hair on my head anyway. It's not really that different, man. It's really not. Someone said brows growing back quickly. Yeah, they do grow back. They really do. I'm like, as long as you're careful, you don't want to like damage the follicles, which you can do, but I would be careful not to do that. Someone said I've had bleached brows for 4 years and they're worth the half grown out look. Thank you. Dude, it was hard for me to find people online sharing that experience. I kept looking for people telling me, like, I was like, bleach brows, years upkeep, and no one would say, I've committed to this for a while and I'm happy. So I think 2 or 3 or 4 people in my chat have been sharing their experiences, and it's going a long way because I don't have a community. Nobody wants to bleach their eyebrows. Why is it such a rare modification? Someone says it's not off-putting, it's eye-catching in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think, honestly, I don't really think anything puts me off except hate. At the end of the day, I think if you're doing something, some sort of modification that is hateful, I'm going to think less of you. But you could shave your eyebrows off. You could tattoo your face. You could stretch your ears anywhere from your ears to your nostrils. And I think like, I may be like, whoa, but I'm not going to think less of you because of it. And it's the same for the eyebrows, except for Jeffree Star, who is such bad rep. And low-key, his image is in the back of my mind like a little demon preventing me from committing to shaving off the brows. Because if I shave my eyebrows off and I got even one comparison to Jeffree Star, I'm about to crash out. I would actually genuinely crash out if I did anything in this world that gave people a Jeffree Star vibe. I would end my entire internet career. I mean, Jeffree's like not ugly. I don't want anyone to think of that person when they think of me. But I feel like I have to make them good in spite of him. I have to be the one who has the shaved brows and is not Jeffree. That way people can associate it with me instead of him. So I got to figure out how to be more iconic than Jeffree Star. And when I say iconic, I'm not hyping him up. I'm not a fan at all. But he unfortunately is very visually iconic. Unfortunately. Someone said I vaguely know. Someone said he grew his brows back. Oh, he grew them back? Then I'm shaving mine off. No, I'm just kidding. But like, that makes me feel better. As long as it's not something where people are going to say that. I mean, I guess if I'm being honest, I don't think a lot of people think of him on a day-to-day basis anyway. I mean, people don't think of me either. So I'm worried about a problem that's not even going to bother me in real life. So I may as well just do what I want to do in this world. Someone says I shave mine and put those fake piercing dots to have metal brows. That literally sounds insanely sick. That sounds so cool. Reading chat. Someone said I shave my eyebrows and I draw super thin brows on. I feel like some people pull off that thin brow look so well, where I'm just like, you were literally meant to have that. I'm talking about like pin tip width, like a really fierce brow, sometimes with like an arch in it, or even just like kind of straight. I love me like a straight thin brow. That's not the look for me, but I envy people who do that, because I'm just like, dang, you look like I don't know what they look like, but I love it for them. Someone says you'll get Mia Goth from me if anything, and you know what, I accept that, because I actually like Mia Goth's eyebrows. To be quite honest, I think Mia Goth is great representation for people who have pretty much invisible brows. She has eyebrows. They are there. You just can't really see them joints. And she looks great. They're not necessary. Let's pull her up. Like, where are they at? I don't know. It doesn't matter. She still looks nice. I guess part of it is just because that's what her eyebrows naturally do. And pretty much anything that your body just naturally does is going to look natural on you or whatever. But yeah, like her with like some really intense eyebrows would honestly scare the hell out of me. I don't want to see her with like really hella visible eyebrows. Someone says she's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, she would still look good though. Duh. She's a Hollywood actress, so I do think if you slap some eyebrows on Mia Goth, she would still look like Hollywood actress. But like, she doesn't need them. I don't think she needs them. Someone said I also have invisible eyebrows. Yeah, no, like Justice, honestly, they just, I don't know, they're useful, but you gotta take what you got, he says, having heavily modified his to not look like they originally did. There's also nothing wrong with not having prominent eyebrows and then just deciding to make them more visible because you feel like yourself more with them. I think that's what you should do at the end of the day. Anything that makes you feel more you, just do that joint right there. Someone says it matches her personality well. I think I would agree. Well, I don't like know her personality super well, but she does play pretty similar characters, and the look is a big part of that for sure. Someone said I love heavy shaved brows. I love looking different. Looking different's fun. Looking not different is fun too. I used to look. I had no mods at one point. Sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, what the hell? Actually, I took this picture the other day. I'm gonna share it. I think the original is literally from 2019. Like, actually, unironically, on God, from 2019, which was what, 7 years ago? So I was only 20, or I might have even been a teenager actually. And the reason I took it was because I just wanted to find one of the oldest existing pictures of me compared to the most recent, and I was like, wow, excuse me, I've changed a lot. And it's funny too, because those clear glasses that I'm wearing in the picture on the right, those are my daily wear glasses. I don't wear these black ones out. I just wear these for the stream because I feel like it matches the clothes. But I was like, this is honestly crazy. So yeah, I've looked very not different back when I was younger. Pretty standard fare. And I guess one could say I look different now or whatever. But yeah, what a time. Someone's a different person. Yeah, a lot has changed in the past 7 years, clearly. But Lord almighty. This is a good comparison too, because it's in pretty similar lighting and I'm at a pretty similar angle as well. I don't know why I wasn't looking at the camera on the left. I was looking at the screen for some reason. I did not know how to take a flattering picture of myself when I was younger, but that's okay. We all learned. Someone said you looked cute. Thank you. I feel like I did. I really do. I haven't always felt this way, but I felt this way for a long time. In 2019, I thought I was cute. Someone says the NB took over. Yeah, I drifted further and further into something undefinable. And it was bound to happen, honestly. Someone says looking at yourself in the preview. I definitely was looking at myself in the preview. Now I stare right down the barrel of the camera. I really, really do. Or at least I try. Someone said mogging yourself is crazy. It is. But you know what? Justice for young D'Angelo, who hadn't figured it out at that time. He just thought he was... I thought I was so many things. I definitely did not think that I was straight at any point in my life, or gay, because I'm neither of those things. Yay. I mean, it would be cool if I was, I guess, but I'm not. But so I guess I knew that, but I didn't know what I was. And I did think that I was just a cis man. That's all I had to go off of. That's all anyone had ever called me. I knew for sure that something was wrong there, but what did I have to compare it to? I certainly wasn't a non-binary. I wasn't one of those they thems. One of them there they thems. That was not me. No sir, not in Texas. So yeah, I thought I was just some sort of whatever the hell I thought I was, but I was this. Uh-oh. Someone said not straight or gay, but a secret third thing. Yes, a special third thing called neither. That's me for sure. Someone says the way you talk about your younger self is so gentle and sweet. That's because I've done my time already. I did my time in self-hatred prison, and I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I already have spent enough years hating this person, wanting this person dead, not even being able to look at pictures of myself because the self-hatred was way too high. And I processed a lot of that through therapy. And it was brought to my attention like, hey, D'Angelo, this person that you hate so much is actually you. And that no point was less deserving of love or happiness. And it's not a sin to be confused in a world that is designed to confuse you and erase your identity. And then I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. That was actually really sad. So now I just more so see myself as somebody who always tried his best, didn't ever know what was going on at any point. And I still don't. But I'm glad that the younger confused me waited it out long enough. All I needed 20-year-old me to do was just not kill himself long enough for me to actually figure out how to be happy. And I didn't. So I'm so glad. Proud. Yay. Thank you so much, younger me, for believing in the current me, even though I could not visualize this. I could not conceive of a version of myself that was happy or true. But I figured it had to exist somewhere. So I just waited it out. And that's the main thing I'm proud of my younger self for real. But honestly, if he had taken me out, you know what? Fair game, baby. I understand. I'm sorry. This won't. But I'm glad I didn't. That's all I'm saying. So we're all living for the first time. This is so sweet. It's so sweet. And then I turn around and say some dark stuff like that. You gotta joke about it though. I feel like if I don't joke about this, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm literally gonna go crazy. I really, really am. But yeah, no, do stay here. Someone said I'm waiting it out right now. It literally is worth it to stay here. It's not because somebody put it in a Hallmark card. It's not because somebody who doesn't have depression is basically trying to manipulate you into staying here, which I understand, but a lot of people did that in my life and it wasn't helpful. It's not because it quote unquote gets better or whatever. Time is literally a tool and you can sharpen it. You can get more utility out of it by having more of it. A large part of my healing was just time. It's easier because I'm 27 going on 28 than it was when I was 20. I didn't have a lot of time. I didn't have a lot of experience living in my own head. And so that was such a large part of the reason why I just felt like I can't do this anymore. Because there was no proof that I could do it. But I think the more time passes, with me having been in this rodeo for as long as I have, I know that I can do it. I don't have to rely on myself because I can't always. And I don't have to rely on some false promise of things, quote unquote, getting better. I can rely on the fact that I am at least strong enough to persist. I don't have to worry about myself on that level. And then all of the good that comes and all of that, I accept it as it comes, I guess. But yeah, I think so much of this is like, I just think fake it till you make it is much, much, much more important. Fake it till you make it is just more important than anyone realizes. At the end of the day, I simply am too depressed to actually believe in myself all the time. I don't know. They call it major depressive disorder for a reason. It's pretty major, guys. I don't believe the world. When they say it's actually like, I don't always believe them. I believe it right now. I'm happy. I'm glad that I'm here. I'm proud of myself in so many ways, but sadly, it's basically like, give me a few bad days in a row and I'll forget. I always forget how to believe in the future or whatever, but I realized you don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe that things will get better. You can just fake as if they will until they do. That's the thing. Objectively, factually speaking, things will get better. That's not like an opinion. That is just what happens. But you don't have to like trick your brain into believing this. You can just be like, well, if things were going to get better, what would I do? And if the answer to that is, I don't know, just persist for another 24 hours until you get there. I don't know. I know that sounds depressing or whatever. So I can't look that far away. You don't have to pick a date, honestly. I guess I felt like a lot of the things that people were trying to say to me to help me not be depressed felt like they were asking me not to be me. At the end of the day, I felt like asking me to have a self-propulsive mentality, asking me to actually have a will. It's just not who I am. I think the disorder runs a little bit too deep, and I was driving myself crazy trying to be somebody who wanted to be better, because I didn't. And I have actually accepted that is an appropriate level of depression as well. If some of you have experienced depression to the point where you turn things around and now it's easy for you to be here or whatever, being here is still a choice that I'm literally making every single day. Every single day, it just got easier to make that choice. I know for sure. Let me show you something. If we go back to this, the thing that I was waiting for when I was like in my early 20s and hella depressed or whatever, I thought, oh, woo, he's gone. Come back. Okay. I feel like I was thinking for sure that this would be somebody who wants everything good for himself and somebody who wants to be here, is excited about life or whatever. I kept waiting for that to happen to me because everybody was kind of suggesting that it would if I could just do the right medicine or the right psychotherapy or this, that, the other. But frankly, I've just been depressed since I think 4. Yeah, I think that's my earliest memory of depression. So like, I was kind of being harmed. I feel, by the world's insistence that I get better. Because it very much was not actually, it wasn't understanding of my actual day-to-day experience of my own life. It's just, you're not ever going to get me to go outside enough or make my bed well enough or get enough sunlight or enough exercise or socialization or even medicine, sadly, to where like I just naturally as a baseline am happy to be here. That's never happened. I think the thing was, I assumed that because that was never happening for me, I was always going to be miserable. And that's what I've realized isn't true. It's not true. I guess because I was thinking in my mind, well, like, why do I always have to like try so hard? One of my favorite analogies is like the things that some people do automatically. Why do I have to do them manually? I pulled that, by the way. Someone else said that. I didn't come up with that at all. But I used to just think like, I cannot live every single day waking up having to manually choose to stay here, because that's what it was in the beginning, or not in the beginning, but at the height of my depression. Every single day I would wake up and I would just be like, do I want to stay here? And I would weigh the pros and cons, and I don't know why. A lot of times I think just out of sheer inaction, I was like, I guess I will. But I thought that choice was slowly going to kill me every single day, because it was killing me every single day at that time. And I thought it was going to be that forever. Like, am I just going to die slowly forever until... No. I've learned, actually, the thing that gets easier is just making that choice every single day. You know? For 27 years in a row, I've woken up and on some level asked myself, am I happy that I did that? The answer is not usually yes, but sometimes it doesn't really cause me pain anymore. It's just kind of neutral. I think sometimes I wake up and I'm just like, would all of my problems go away if something crazy happened to me? The answer is yes. But when I say to myself, that's okay though, I'm not doing anything crazy. I have too many things that I'm working on. I have too many processes that have been in the works for years of me trying to like be better, this, that, the other. It doesn't hurt anymore. It doesn't hurt. I think that's the thing. And that's why I'm telling you, time is so useful. I promise you, like, with everything within me, I can't say this as emphatically, but one day you absolutely can wake up and have the exact same experience that you're having now when you're in the depths of depression, and it doesn't actually feel like it's killing you, I guess. Will you ever not have that experience? I don't know. But I guess that's where I am now. I'm so grateful that between, you know, everything that's helped me cumulatively, whether that's some sort of therapy or medication or this, that, the other, like, I can live the way that I am. It's kind of like what we were talking about too, of there being a chart of normalcy for everybody. Don't go off of society's chart for normalcy, because then you're going to hate yourself. That's what I did. I feel like it's pretty normal, quote unquote, to just want to live. It really is. You can observe this in the human species and almost all species that exist. I think I can actually say it without crying. I think I can actually say it without crying. And I don't. I'm saying this for the first time in 27 years without immediately breaking down into tears, because I have literally worked on myself so hard. I just don't. I never have. I've never been that kind of person. All of my attempts of trying to force myself to be somebody who like wants to live have just made me absolutely miserable. And so I gave up, I guess, on trying to force myself to have that drive, that dog in him. Why can't I be like other people? Who cares? I don't care. Fine. Everybody else seems to have an easier time with this. Let them. Let me figure out how to deal with my time. Let me figure out how to make this easier for myself. And once I cut that part out of my process, yeah, I'm honest. I'm honest. Do I want to live? Yeah, because I'm working on a lot of things. I would be actually sad right now if I don't want to die. I guess I don't want to live either. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. And do I believe you can move out of depression into a state where you actually want to live? I don't know. But I know you can move out of wanting to die, because I did it. It was literally not even possible for me to do, and I still did it. They're not the same thing, even if they are for you right now. But yeah, I don't know if that was helpful. I fear, what if that was just extra depressing or something? I'm never trying to depress people. I fundamentally generally and genuinely think that like depression exists in so many different ways, and the things that help people a lot, or seem to help a lot of people, they just don't help me, and it alienates me further. You know, when we make things about like the joys of being like a strong person and all these things. I'm not a strong person. I'm not. Stop asking me to be strong. Stop asking me to hold on. What the hell? This world sucks. I'm more so just like, hey, life hack. If you keep doing this long enough, it actually won't hurt anymore. Literally. It's not going to fill you with pain to the point where joy has no space in your life. So yeah, I gave up on the mainstream way of getting over depression because it never worked, no matter how much therapy I had. But yeah, I have nothing but love for my depressed peeps who are just like, I'm always going to be this way. If you know that about yourself and you know it to be true, just know that there are other versions of you waiting to happen. There's a this way that doesn't hurt to breathe. I am still the way that I was when I was 20 or whatever, but I just, God, I'm alive. I'm finally alive now. I'm just not like floating through this world like a ghost, and I don't want to anymore. But yeah, I just, things will get bad again. They'll get bad again. They always do. And that's okay. Because it's not my first rodeo at this point. But yeah, there's so little love, I guess, I feel for people who don't know how to get better. I don't know. There's just, and I feel like when things get really, really, really dark, or at least for me, the times I've gotten the closest to like things being really dark was when I sort of identified that like, even if somebody literally handed me the actual pill, like red pill, blue pill, matrix type thing, take this and you will be okay. At the end of the day, I'm not the kind of person who would so much as reach out for it. My brain would literally limit me and just be like, don't do that, because it's not actually going to help you. Even you reaching out right now, that's not who you are, and you don't deserve that. And I wouldn't take it. This is true. I don't know. I feel very free. I feel very free now, and unironically happy. I'm glad I can acknowledge I just don't have that dog in me. I have no desire to do any of this. And why should I want to, honestly? But holding space for that and realizing that doesn't mean I actually have to want to die all the time, or that things will be difficult every single day. They're not. I have had, we're in July. Every single month this year has been a good month. And I think almost every single month last year was a good month. Most of them. Most of my months, I think in 2023 were pretty good. Give me 100 days in a row and I feel like 90 of them will be pretty great. I don't know. It got better. Not because I forced it to, or it only got better when I stopped trying to be somebody forcing it to be better for me, I guess. I don't know, man. But yeah, take your meds. Do go outside. Do your exercise, but don't worry about what other people are doing, because they don't get it. You're right that they don't get it, but I feel you can get it in a way that is more beneficial for you. Anyway, that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Someone said, as much as I similarly don't care, it felt nice to hear it validated from outside, so don't worry about bringing the mood down. Yeah, no, no one ever told me. Everyone always made me feel like trash for not wanting to try. I'm just like, oh, I'm not doing anything to you. Why are you so offended about my crisis? Yeah, no, I had a lot of resentment, but I got over it for real. Someone said the mindset plus medication. Yeah, medication, mindset, motivation, therapy. I can't make that start with the M, but all of the M's will help you for sure. For sure. Someone says, I have a lot of comfort in the fact that there's an end to this. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Now we are getting a little bit too deep. We are getting a little bit too deep, but like, I feel the same way. I have ceded control of the end. I've let it go. I don't know anymore who is responsible for picking out my last day. I genuinely hope and wish that is not tomorrow, today, or anytime soon. But I think I used to just be someone who's like, at the end of the day, at least I want to be the one. I want to be the one to at least have some semblance of control over this. But you know what? It's very terrifying. I let it go. I don't know when this is all going to be over for me. I have no idea. I have no clue. It could literally be in, what am I, 28? It might not happen for another like 50 or even 60 or 70 years. It could happen next year. It's not going to, trust me. But I don't know. I let go of it. It was really, 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 really hard to let go of because it made me feel like I had something. I had something. I had some sort of control. Is how I felt when I was like, no, I'm in control. But I don't know. I unclenched my hands a little bit, and I feel freer, I guess, now that I'm not tightly latching on to this idea of an end date. The end will come whenever it comes. It really will. And will it have been like 80 years of pure good, or 27 years of mostly bad, or 50 years of, well, at least he tried? I don't know. It's okay. It could be any of those things. Did I try every single day? Yes, I think that's all that really matters. I really, really do. So yeah, that's it. I don't know, man. Don't know. Who knows? Someone says, same stream as Taco Bell poop. Like, hey, never let it be said that we don't have a variety of topics. Oh my God. Someone said, I love watching vids of grandmas who are like, why am I still here? I mean, I will say, it gets to a point. It does get to a point. I am 27 and I'm like, yeah, I'm staying here. But I do feel like I am going to be one of those people where if I'm literally like 80 or 90, I'm glad that we have our 80 or 90-year-olds sticking with us because I literally love them. And we need to care for the elderly much more than we do as a society. But me personally, girl, I'm going to be so over this when I'm like 90. I'll be like, why am I still alive? What the hell do you think I'm going to do with the remainder of my lifespan? I'm not going to have anything left within me when I'm not. Again, I'm not talking about other 90-year-olds. They're fine. Me, I just know myself well enough to know I'm going to be over this. So either you better, I don't know what I'm going to do at that point. But someone said, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. I'm sorry. 90? I didn't sign up for 90 years. Absolutely not. I'm committing to at least, I feel 70. Is that like the average human lifespan? How long is that? Hold on. Let's find this out right now. Average human lifespan. I'm typing, but I don't even know. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. Everything is going awry again. Here we go. My life expectancy, 79 years. 79 years? Ew. Okay, that's fine. Fine. I will commit to an average human lifespan. I will stay here for at least, oh my God, that's so long. Why? How many more years is that? 79 minus, I'm almost 28. 51 more years. Okay, anyways, I will commit to another 51 years. 50. I can't do 79. I'm going to do 78. Committing to another 50 years. After that, baby, I fear it may be Audi 9000 for me. Because like, what am I gonna do? I'm so bored all the time anyway. Someone says 79 is not that old. No, 79 isn't old for other people. You can literally start a whole other career in your 80s. And people do this, by the way. You can literally live for an additional 20 years when you turn 70, and people do this. They have thriving lives and value, utility. I'm just tired. I'm tired and whiny. I'm a sad little piss baby who doesn't think he should have to endure anything more than he already has. So that's really what you're hearing right now. I'm whinging. I'm not making commentary on other 79-year-olds. I just let me take a nap. Let me take a nap. Someone said I'm 99 and pissed. I'm going to be so mad at all of you if I live to 99, because I'm going to be like, me? This is like some sort of cosmic prank that's happening to me right now. Someone said, will you be a cranky old man? No. I aim to be one of those people who mellows out so much when he's older. They're like, where was this person the whole time? I know some older people and they just get so chill. And I'm like, really? You couldn't have like mustered up any of that when I needed it? But that's okay. So yeah, I hope that I just get chiller as I'm older, to the point where I find everything funny when I'm 80. That's my goal for sure. For sure. Reading chat. Someone said literally a nap, please. Yeah, no, yeah. But yeah, I need to experience my 30s, brother. Y'all be saying so much good stuff about your 30s. I need to get there. That's what the whole point of me experiencing my 20s was, to get away from my teenage years, which were terrible, and to get into my 30s, which people have said actually things start looking up and your life can be cooler. I've seen a lot of people say literally that their 30s were better than their 20s. And I'm like, then I'm turning 30 right now. What do you mean? I will take literally anything that has been better than my 20s. Anything. Now, if you're listening to this and you're like, well, I don't know, I'm in my 30s and everything is still bad. Hopefully it's your 40s. But like, I really want that 30s experience. And I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not even getting my hopes up to the point where I'm like, I want it to like make everything worth it. I just want it to be somewhat better. I want to get to age 39, look back and be like, wow, I think age 30 to 39, I had an easier time living as myself than I did 20 to 29. If I get there, I'm happy. That's all I want. Someone said 30s and 40s is where I'm at. 40s specifically just seems like sign me up, because I know a lot of people in their 40s and they literally became like not different people, but like, I don't know. There is something about being in your 40s that is just like so affirming. But yeah, I'm excited as hell. Sometimes I still struggle. Yeah, no, like I don't think that my life is just going to be like magical television world or whatever, but God, I would take anything easier than this. And the closer I get to my 30s, the easier my life does get. I make the joke all the time, but like people talk about the wrong side of 30. Uh-oh, he's aging. He's gonna be on the wrong side of 30. 31 is the right side of 30. That's the correct side of 30. Your 20s are the wrong side of 30. This is where everything is screwy. Everything sucks. Your 30s and beyond, that's the right side of 30. And I can't wait to cross that divide for real. Someone said my worst fear. Oof. Someone said my worst fear is having dementia because I had to see my great grandma slowly losing her memory. Yeah, no, that. I think that that's kind of my worst fear too, actually. Like my actual genuine 100% worst fear over anything, I think, is dementia or a similar condition when I'm older, just because of the things that I've seen it do. I've not experienced it in my family, but just like listening to people and their experiences, yeah, like there are some things that I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that a rogue driver is gonna run me down someday when I'm out for a run. I am afraid that the one time I get on a plane, everything is just going to choose that day to be terrible. But like, I'm not scared of those things as much as I am. Actually, I'm going to be honest. I'm more scared of car drivers than I am of planes. But no, it's really, yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared. Someone said there's a lot we can do to prevent dementia. Well, I'm going to be doing all of it. I really, really am. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Oh, okay. Another thing that I'm kind of scared of, and I feel like saying this out loud is kind of crazy, but I'm just going to say it anyway, because I feel like I'm being very kind of open, and a lot of you are being very open in this chat. I am scared of getting cancer. I wasn't when I was younger, but I am really tired of seeing young people, literally 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, absolutely below the age of where one could expect to see this, getting these like cancers that are supposed to actually be rare. And I'm scared. I literally hear like another story about, oh yeah, this person was literally 30 something and then they died from cancer that we don't typically see in 30 somethings. And I'm like, what? This person was in their 40s and I'm like, what is happening here? I don't know how to like save myself from fearing that. Because people keep saying like, yeah, that's not supposed to happen. And I'm like, what? But I'm just gonna do everything that I can for sure. Someone said it's the microplastics. Look, I don't want to. I don't think the microplastics are helping. Obviously. Yeah, no, that in and of itself, I'm scared for everybody. I really want this to stop. It's wild, man. Reading chat. Someone said for me it's heart disease. Oof. Yeah, all these things are scary. Someone said MD student here, rare cancers are actually so common. When I rotated in oncology, I learned about a new one every day. I guess that must be what it is, why we hear so many stories of like, obviously like people pass away from these things all the time. It just doesn't get reported on because, you know, but like when celebrities pass away and it's like this type of cancer and I'm like, how did that happen if this is rare? But it makes sense that you're saying they're more common than we think. I don't know, man. That one is just, it's very interesting. Someone says it's an expensive road. I guess it would be a lot less scary if we would actually like not turn it into life destroying things for the people experiencing it and the people around them due to the costs of treatment and all that stuff. Man. Someone says there's a great New York Times article on environmental racism and how Philly's old refinery caused lots of cancers in the area I live in right now. Rest in peace. I'm not even surprised that has happened, but that's so tragic. And yes, sadly, it is inextricable from other conditions. Like your race, your gender obviously can affect this a lot too. Just not good at all. Someone said, both of my parents and one of my uncles died of cancer. Both my dad's parents had and survived it. It's my biggest fear. Yeah, no, I'm just really sorry to hear that. And I understand why you would fear that. I'm glad that, you know, your dad's parents were able to survive it. But like, yeah, no, that's, man, I don't know how to feel. Sometimes I just feel like there's things in this world that I just don't know how to feel about. How am I supposed to feel when this happens again? And it's not about me. Duh, I'm not the one experiencing these things, but I feel like as long as I'm not coming into other people's spaces and talking over them, it's okay to express my concern in my own little private bubble. I mean, I'm not private. I'm literally live streaming to an audience right now, but you know what I mean. Like I see a tragic headline of something bad happening and publicly I will be like, well, I'm sorry this happened. And I have nothing but well wishes for their family. But then privately, I'm like, hey, I'm scared. New fear unlocked. Oh, man. Reading chat. Some say it can be environmental too. Yeah, no, there's so much actual science and research into how just pollution and lack of access to care and all of these things play so many factors and so many different illnesses that sadly can kill people. Someone said my mom just had breast cancer, but she's good for the foreseeable future. I'm glad that she's good for real. Definitely, I'm sure it'll continue that way. Reading chat. Someone said there's too many things I'm afraid of. Yeah, maybe at the end of the day, the world is just kind of scary. Maybe at the end of the day, it's just a scary place. I think living at all, that's terrifying. Literally anything could happen at any time. And so that's why I suppose it's just better to focus on the things that are not scary, because there will be no shortage of scariness that'll probably present itself to you. So I'll worry about that when I get there, I suppose. I really, really will. Someone said I'm worried about my ears, the way I blast my music in earphones. Oh, I already messed those up. I got tinnitus, something fierce. And yeah, headphone usage, if I remember correctly, based off the research, absolutely can contribute negatively. And yeah, I won't say I did it to myself, but I didn't help. So maybe I should be a little bit more concerned about the health risks that I myself am imposing upon me instead of scary things happening that I have no control over. Because I feel like there's a few things I could probably stand to turn around first. I really, really could. Someone said tonight is a symptom of PTSD. Fun, he says, sarcastically as hell. A lot of my things are comorbid. Actually, does anybody have that experience where like almost everything you have is a comorbidity? Because I do. Depression, anxiety, PTSD, ADHD, and yes, even my annoying tinnitus and misophonia, which are smaller issues or whatever. All of that is the same thing. It's not the same thing. These are different disorders, but they literally are. They be overlapping. And I feel like if I didn't have one of those things, like the deeper things, I probably wouldn't have any of these problems. Literally. Like if I didn't have ADHD, I probably would not have anything else. And it's so annoying to think about in that term. Someone said ADHD, autism, anxiety, depression, CPTSD. Literally all of that, it manifests in different branches, but it's kind of just like a core issue-ish type vibe, or at least that's how I feel about myself. That pisses me off to no end, because I'm like, what do you mean? Some said it makes it so hard to be treated. Yeah, because people will think like, oh, obviously you have this one thing, but they may not think of this other thing as even potentially being an underlying cause. It's so tricky. It's so tricky, man. Someone said, don't forget OCD. Oof, that's not my experience, but a lot of people will have that too. And it's just like, man, that is wild. So branching out from a common root. That is kind of how I think of it. Just like a pretty diseased tree. But you know what? Those trees be holding on. Those trees hold on like nobody's business. I have seen like the sickest, oldest trees, and they're like, I am not falling. And I'm like, you know what? Me neither, you beautiful oak tree. I wish I could be as strong as an oak tree, but if they can persist for I don't know how many 100 years, I can do my little time here on this earth prison. Oh my God. Someone said for me, it's the autism slash heads, I think is how you say that, dysautonomia. Oof. I don't even know what that is, but I believe you, literally. I really, really do. Someone said they'd be so beautiful. On God, the trees be so pretty. Actually, I kind of know what heads is. Is that... Sorry, I don't know how to say this. Is it like Eller... Eder? Dala? You have like stretchy skin. you connective tissue. I kind of know what EDS is, but I kind of don't know what it is. Eller Dan, I have to look it up because I sound like an actual idiot right now, spreading medical misinformation for funsies. Ehlers-Danlos. Okay, I'm probably not saying that right now. I'm not saying it correctly. 13 heritable connective tissue disorders. Okay. Danlos, sorry. I hate trying to pronounce things that I've never said out loud because I just but yeah, I kind of know what this is, but I don't really know much about it at all, except a few of the symptoms that like can persist. Do you know why I know about this? Don't laugh at me. But I actually encounter a lot of people on the internet who have EDS, and it's because I frequent a lot of ear stretching forums. Because I'm on a journey to have like those big old... No, I don't want them to be super big, but I want to have plugs. I want to look like Buddha. That's why I'm bald and am doing this to my lobes. Just kidding. I don't really want to look like Buddha, but I wouldn't complain if I do. Actually, Buddha wasn't bald, was he? Or was he? Was Buddha bald? I have no idea. I don't know how to spell. Yeah, he totally was bald. Okay. Hell yeah, baby. This is what I want to look like. Let's go. So I feel like essentially it's a look. It's a look. I want the lobes and I want the bald head. And you know, if I had a little Buddha belly, what can you do about it? But look, I'm on forums and threads where people talk about the safe ways of stretching your ears. I do like dead stretching, for example. And one thing that pops up a lot is like, hey guys, I was stretching my ear and for some reason I was able to size up 3 to 4 times faster than everyone else with no pain. And I'm like, that's not how most people's human body works. And then people in the comments will be like, do you have a connective tissue disorder? And people will either be like, oh, yeah, I do. Or I have literally seen people find out essentially that they have some sort of connective tissue thing going on partially because of the ear thing, which I think is kind of funny. But yeah, my EDS people, they be out there in the stretch community with like the biggest lobes ever that they were just like, and I'm like, dang, that's crazy. I see a lot of people say like, that's the only benefit. And I'm like, hey, you got to find the benefits where you can. So yeah, I kind of do know what EDS is, but the thing is, it's obviously much, much more than just having a stretchy body. And you know, it's more serious than that, but I don't know. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Someone says I have EDS and I stretch my ear very, very fast. Literally, this happened to me. It's a real experience. It's some sort of canon event for the EDS people who stretch their lobes. Are like, why? What is happening here? I certainly do not have that experience. I've been moving very slowly, which is why I'm only at a little 10G right now. This ring right here, it's not one of those earrings that has like a little skinny part. The entire ring is this thick. So I am making some progress, but as you see, I have a lot more to do. Someone said, I noticed a lot of people finding out about EDS in ballet too. Oh, that makes sense. Because you got to be assuming these positions and stuff. Ballet is terrifying. And ballet dancers, you should never mess with. Because those people could probably kill you. They wouldn't. But it literally takes so much strength, an insane amount of strength and control over one's body, to do ballet. Also, like, gymnastics. Gymnasts are terrifying as hell. Someone's saying my ears won't stop stretching. I didn't know that was a thing. I have EDS too. It's a thing. You could thank your EDS for that thing right there. Gymnasts are terrifying. They're scary. I don't know if you've ever tried to just hold a single position that a gymnast does. Like just find a bar and try to like do that sort of L-sit thing that is so hard to do. It literally takes so much strength. It's not just flexibility, it's also strength. It's wild, man. Some ballet dancers are athletes. Yes, they are. They absolutely are, and they're competitive as any other, maybe more, honestly. It's just scary, man. Someone said, I bet there are ballerina assassins. I think there's a movie called John Wick Ballerina. I don't know if she's actually a ballerina, but I would assume she's an assassin. It's not actually John himself. I think it's Ana de Armas or something. Someone said I did ballet for 10 years and it's funny that you think it's terrifying. Okay, maybe it's just terrifying for me because I would look like an absolute jerk just trying to do these things and making a mockery of it. I literally can't even so much as like stand still while trying to balance. I just look like because I do not have the necessary stabilizer strength or core strength or, well, no, I do have core strength, but I have core strength for runners, which is not the same thing. It's really not. Someone said Adela KGB music video is Ballerina Assassins. That video was cool. I didn't really know who Adela was, but I watched that and I was like, wow, this is neat. I like it. Someone said that movie's really good. I need to watch the John Wick Ballerina movie. I don't know why I never did. I didn't have a reason. I wasn't like boycotting it. I just never got around to it. I really didn't. Reading chat. Someone said Red Sparrow with Jennifer Lawrence. She was like a Russian spy who did ballet. I don't rock with this guy because he sucks. He's like big into AI now, but he did make a good movie. Black Swan is crazy. They're not assassins, but it's just a scary ballet movie, bro. I swear to God, this movie goes hard. I'm sad that it's Aronofsky. How are you gonna make something like this and then turn around and be like, oh, actually, I love AI? Ew. But Natalie Portman kills. I forget who else is in this, but everybody is just absolutely killing it. Like. That's so fun. It's fantastic. Someone says, I really admire pole dancers and pole dancing is crazy too. Because again, the actual core strength it takes. Have you ever tried to suspend yourself in any way from anything, let alone a vertical pole? Yeah, no, sometimes I wish, or I mean, nothing's stopping me, but sometimes I wish I knew how to dance. Any kind of way, whether that's ballet or just other forms, but I don't, and that's okay. I have rhythm. I have a sense of rhythm, not to play into stereotypes, but as a black person, I was born knowing how to keep time, but I don't know how to translate that into smooth movement, because I feel like the thing about good and beautiful dancing, for me, at least me judging it as an observer, it's not about being able to do the moves. Because I could probably do the moves if I tried. But a good dancer just makes it look so effortless. And I feel like you can see that sometimes when you have like singers who are not dancers. They will do the choreo in their own music video, but all the dancers in the background just look more effortless than them because they're actually professional dancers. And yeah, I was never that kind of person who could make it look effortless, even though I have also not tried enough. So yeah, if I ever someday unlock the ability to move in a flowy way, then I guess I could take up dance. Why not? So I'm taking my first pole dancing class on Monday. Yo, let's go. Some of my friends pole dancing. I don't know how they do it. I couldn't learn. Yeah. I don't think I could get myself up there. And they be like flying. It's literally crazy. They be flying up there. Someone said in a plank. I was in a plank for barely any time and my core was like, no. See, planks, for some reason, I'm pretty good with. And I do think that's just because a lot of it is like running. I try to train my core just says, I gotta stand up straight. I feel like low key, nobody talks, or maybe they do and I just don't know how to Google things. Nobody talks about how important it is to train your core for running. Because if I'm not staying on top of my core strength, I run like this, which is not good. That's not running at all. And what I have to do is this, basically the best way to do it. I have two things that I remember that help me have perfect running form. I don't have perfect running form, but perfect for me. That is like, you want to act like someone is like holding you up by the hair. I don't have any hair on my head, but it's still useful. So instead of this, you literally want to be like this, low key, just like straight up. And then another thing that really helps me is you kind of want to act like, instead of you, like pretend like you're a reindeer or a horse or a sled dog. Instead of you drawing some sort of like carriage behind you, you have to act like the carriage. You don't want to have the posture of somebody who is lugging something around that is sort of tied to your core. you want to have the posture of somebody who is actually being pulled. You want to act like literally you're being propelled across the face of the earth by a pack of magical reindeer. And those two things together will seriously help you running from. You'll go from like this and you're like, I can't breathe, and you feel like you're gonna fall over, to like, screw all of you guys. It's great. It's fantastic. It feels really nice. Someone said that's literally the same thing they teach you in ballet for pirouettes. Well, maybe there's more overlap than I'm realizing. Someone says, is it true that your mouth can start to bleed when you start running? I have never had that experience, and I hope I don't, because that sounds terrifying. It really, really does. Reading chat. Someone says, as an artist, plus a digital artist, my posture is done for. It was done for ages ago. Yes, I mean, I don't even think my posture on a day-to-day basis is good, because I was an artist too. A digital artist, and I'd be sitting in the chair. Here, I'll show you how I used to sit when I did my digital illustration. Basically, not this bad, but very, very close. I wasn't exactly as bad as L, but I was very, very close to this level of bad posture, and it just wasn't cute. And I think that did more damage to my posture than anything else could have. I literally looked like a shrimp at all times for sometimes up to 8 hours at a time without even getting up. Oops. Yikes. Reading chat. Someone said literally how my brother sits. Yeah, breaking out of the bad posture trap is not easy, man. It is not easy. Someone said not the Wikipedia article. Yeah, or is this like a WikiHow? Who wrote this? How to sit like L from Death Note. Step 1, keep your heels off of the chair. You can rest them against the back of the chair. Balance on the balls of your feet. Lean forward and put your weight on your thighs. Okay, you know what's funny though? You do kind of need a tutorial for this, because there are 2 ways of squatting, and they're not equal at all. I don't want to use like a culturally insensitive term. So I don't know what the actual name for this is, essentially, but like I've seen people call it an Asian squat. This isn't my name for it, and if I'm like dead wrong, I'll never say it again. But essentially, this is literally not as easy as it seems for everybody. And I remember trying to like do this right off the bat. Someone said you can say the Asian squat. Okay, good. Listen, I don't know. Maybe you're gonna be like, D'Angelo, that is an offensive term. What are you doing? And I was like, oh, zip lip. But yeah, I tried to pop an Asian squat, and it didn't work for me at first. I literally had to continually practice this until I was able to do it easily. And now I can do it easy as hell, actually. It actually feels nice. But yeah, I guess it's a position that like is more commonly assumed in other places. Yeah, I guess it is true. I don't really see it too often around me, but yeah, it's so interesting. Someone says Asian here. Yes, it's the Asian squat. I remember my entire class sitting like this. Yeah, so sometimes people do need a tutorial. I literally had to look up, like, how do you do an Asian squat? Why do my like legs not want to cooperate with me? It was so silly. Someone says, I've only heard it called Slav squatting. I'm Bosnian, so I guess in general we don't be squatting enough over here. Over here being America. I mean, obviously you have Asian people here as well, but like it's not a thing that I see ever. I don't look around and just see people like hanging out in a squat, which is so interesting. I don't know why, but it's just not the vibe for whatever reason. Someone said I sit like this at work. Someone said I love to sit like that as an ambulatory wheelchair user. It's great when I don't have a chair. See, it has utility. Just no one ever taught me how to do it. So I was over here like a dummy. Someone said I came out of the elevator once to a guy just chilling like that one day. Hell yeah, man. He was having a day. Someone said I wish it was more of a thing in the UK. Be the change you want to see, I guess. Someone said we love our chairs in the US. We definitely love our chairs. So, someone said I can squat like that, but my heels are lifted. They gotta be down. That's the thing. I used to try to assume the squat position, but like I didn't know how to do it unless I was on like the front part of my feet. But no, it's literally flat feet. It's a pretty deep squat for me, anyways. Like I really feel it while I'm down there. Someone said, just tuning in. I love the bleach brows girl. Why, thank you. I do feel bad that you're just tuning in though, because I am probably gonna like, I'm probably gonna dip in a second. But yeah, I think today we talked about Asian squats, major depression, Kim Kardashian, grandma, morning bikini photo controversy. That was stupid as hell. Horrible infectious parasites being spreading throughout the United States through bad Taco Bell lettuce. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey and it being a good movie but also having issues. And I think there was probably a few other things that I don't remember either. And yeah, human skin, skincare, where they're taking dead people's skin and mining it for resources to make living people have nicer skin. We talked about that for 2 minutes. Yeah, this is my dream stream, baby. I love a stream like this. I wish they could all go like this. Someone said, ironic that you forgot to name ADHD. I literally forgot that we talked about that. I wish every single stream could just be the most random topics of all time. And they are. So I'm just living my dream. Anyways, someone said, can I see your art? Maybe, if I remember someday. Here, you can see my portal tower before I go. I drew that one. I like that one a lot. You like it? That's not the right way. I drew that. It's pretty, isn't it? Hold on, here. Oh my god, I do not know how to like twist my arm properly. Okay. The sleeves on this are literally so tight. I drew that. Yeah, I have like some art on me. Most of my tattoos are not things that I've drawn, but a lot of them are, and I think that they're pretty. I do text art sometimes too. Have I ever shown you guys like my lettering art? It was great. It was fantastic. It came out really well. Hold on, let me see if I can show you. Wait, I gotta show you without like hold on. I'm gonna practice this in real life first to make sure that I'm not accidentally flashing you guys. Give me a second. Okay, look. How pretty is that? I don't know if you can hear me. I'm like screaming. But here's some of my hand lettering. I feel like you can't hear anything I'm saying. That's some of my hand lettering artwork that I do as well. Hand calligraphy in Procreate. I give it to the artists. They stencil it on there. I've done most of the text that's on my body. It's been like my own little designs and stuff. But yeah, this is probably my biggest recent art project. Was this right here, which I think came out really, really well. It was so pretty. I loved it. But yeah, I be drawing all the time. Most of it happens to be like tattoo related stuff nowadays because I have a problem. I drew this one too, which I'm really happy about. But yeah, the art's everywhere, baby. Who knows? Not me. Bye, everybody. Goodbye. All right, let's see.